Welcome back to the Comics Aficionados live on Thinking Critical YouTube, as well as Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Your Saturday morning delight is back, and we've got lots of comic book and other stuff to discuss. It's been a very interesting week. Tommy, I guess you had the most interesting week. You just went through a tornado?
Yes. In November, it'll be a year that I've lived in Texas, and I just experienced my first tornado last night. But everything's good. It was a couple miles away, threw a bunch of stuff into the yard, knocked our power out a little bit, crazy water everywhere, but we're good now. It's really nice outside, actually.
So that was your first tornado ever?
Yeah, I mean, in California, we don't get too many tornadoes. A lot of earthquakes, but not too many tornadoes. So I don't know which I prefer, to be honest.
Did you get scared? Did you evacuate to the basement? What was your plan?
No, we just heard a lot of rattling. I stayed in bed and woke up and picked up our yard.
Said, Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't see anybody else leaving, so I was like, I guess I'm all right. You know, people that have lived here a long time are like, don't worry about it. Well, this one will be okay.
So my older brother, my younger brother, at one point they were like neighbors. They lived like right around the corner from each other, and they were like hanging out, you know, drinking some beers or whatever. And all of a sudden the sirens go out in the town that they're living in, and then a tornado's coming through. So they start looking at all the stuff. They're like, this indicates that the tornado should be like right over our house. Like, so they go outside, you know, with their beers in hand, and they're like, there's no tornado. And then they look up and they realize that the tornado went over their house and came down 50 yards past. Yeah. So they almost walked right into it.
Yeah, I'm terrified that that's going to happen, man, because I'm not the sharpest Texan when it comes to weather. So we'll see what happens in the future. But last night wasn't too bad. We're all good. So hopefully my internet stays okay. Go to the
basement, or if you don't have a basement, you go to like a bathroom and get yourself in some place with no windows.
Yeah, unfortunately, I slept through most of it. I was looking for neighbors, and if neighbors aren't doing anything who have lived here a long time, I'm like, I think I'm all right.
Very cool. So I'm glad you're okay. The family's okay. You're still going to get to watch your big fight this weekend?
Yeah. It's actually early because it's in Abu Dhabi. So
I'm a little confused. I have ability to watch UFC pay-per-view streams on like Blast TV. And I'm like looking at the card. I was like, man, they must really think Tom Aspinall is a big fucking draw.
I'm actually kind of excited that he hasn't fought in a long time. So, and gone, he could be really good or he's really bad. He's kind of a freak of nature how he's built, but I feel like he doesn't know how to utilize all the tools that he has. So either this is going to be a very fast fight and Tom's going to rush him to the ground and choke him out, or I'm not sure, but it's going to be quick, I think. I don't think Cyril Gane's at his level. Tom is just a freak of nature as far as how quick he is as a heavyweight. So we'll see. That's the only fight I'm really excited about.
Exactly. It's a one-fight card.
It's a one-fight card, yeah. It's a pretty expensive way to watch one fight for sure. So I think
you're going to be checking it out, Dylan? You're the other big fight fan, right?
I'll be checking out the Tom Aspinall fight. The rest of that card sucks. Yeah. They gave Cyril Gane a gifted title shot. He fought Volkov, who's also fighting on this card.
Yeah.
And Volkov got completely robbed. And afterwards, Dana's like, we're going to make this right. Dana didn't make it right and gifted Cyril Gane a title shot. But yeah, it should be a quick fight.
Card. That's your reward.
Yeah, it should be a quick fight. The only fight in the UFC Aspinall's had go past like the first 2 minutes was against Andrei Arlovski. Yeah. And then that was a very funny fight because they had the whole round go through in the second round. He's like, wait, I'm way better than this guy. This guy's 80 years old. And he just spears him into the side of the octagon and like takes him down instantly and beats him.
He destroyed him in the second round, man.
Yeah, it was hilarious because he was like, respect him. He's like, crap, this is Andrei Arlovski. This guy's a legend. The second round, I was like, wait, this guy can't do anything.
15 years ago he was.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Dylan? I know you had a bad weekend. You're my texting buddy for NFL days. And you were on the receiving end of, I still think the Cardinals game where they blew it against the Titans might be worse, but that's probably the sickest loss. 33 points given up in one quarter.
It's the most gut-wrenching loss, especially because, despite everything we did to lose it, if we just had a kicker, we win. And this is, for the past 3 years, our starting kicker, Graham Gano, has gotten injured every single year, and each time we don't have a proper kicker to replace him. And this year's like, we got a European guy that was so bad he was a backup at Rutgers. That's who we choose to be our backup, and he misses multiple extra points, and that's why we lose by 1 point. That was very sad. Despite everything else we did to fumble away that game, that's what it comes down to, and that was very sad.
You guys should have signed the safety that we had last year. He was our backup kicker.
No, we got Young Ho Koo, the Korean kicker from Atlanta. He's actually decent. We have him
Why
on our
is he not
practice
kicking?
squad. I don't know why they said they had they said they had the a QB competition. The European guy won, and no one believes them.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't have Young Ho out there. Could have used the Young Ho on Sunday.
Is that the worst loss you've ever experienced? Because you had the Cowboys loss earlier in the season that was also a kick in the balls.
The Cowboys loss was really bad, but no, it's not the worst loss I've ever experienced because we've gone on the playoffs and that was depressing. Remember the boat year, the year where Odell and all those guys took a picture on the boat. That was very depressing because we were not too good that season, and then we made it to the playoffs, and Eli was on fire in that playoff game, and there was just 18 drops. Every receiver was dropping everything. That was a very depressing loss.
Yeah, but it wasn't 33 points in one quarter.
No.
2 missed kicks.
Yeah, this
Terrible
was
interception.
And they got multiple 2-point conversions on us too, where it's like if you just stop one of those, we win. It's just
that was rough.
Yeah, and a big signal of our downfall was Paulson Adebo going out, our number one corner. So Banks had to come in, and Banks has been ass. He's been terrible, and he came in and they just bullied him, and he was awful. That's where the deflected TD came in. Because on the goal line, they throw the ball, it gets deflected by our good corner Flott, and then it flies to the receiver that Banks is covering. And that was the beginning of the end.
You were inconsolable there by the end of that game, dude.
Yeah, it was very sad. I was depressed for the rest of the day.
You gonna get it back against the Eagles, you think?
Possibly. I hope so. Our corner is still out, so that's not good. But they got AJ Brown out, so not that really matters because Jalen Hurts kind of forgets he has the ability to throw the football. So if we go 2-0 against the Eagles, that'd be nice. It'd be the first time we've done that since like 2007. So
yeah, you could give Jim crap and explain to him how football works.
Yeah, and Saquon's washed now, so that's good. So I think we could potentially 2-0 him.
Are you sure he's washed? I think he's just the line's just bad.
No, the line's still really good. Their line is good. He's just washed. He's not it anymore. He can't like last year he was incredible and he carried them and he should have won MVP. But this year he's had that drop off and he's just you see it. He doesn't have that explosiveness. Like he's had a couple times where he could break off a run and he can't do it. He doesn't have it no more. I think he's over the hill now.
All right, that's probably enough sports ball talk for the nerds around here.
Oh, come on.
Comic, Dylan. I know that you read it because we talked about it. I'm reading Green Arrow because you're telling me Chris Condon's Green Arrow is good. It's got the Montos art, and it's a good-looking book. And I'm reading it, and all of a sudden, like, there's this interlude or flashback where Green Arrow is in fucking Cambodia working with guerrilla forces to overthrow the government.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I have no idea. They're like, yeah, I had a Soviet-sized blot on my record, so the CIA was able to draft me, and I went over here like with these freedom fighters and mercenaries, and it was very random. I have no idea where that came from, and that was weird.
Very
The rest
strange.
of the comic was good though.
I don't know. I couldn't get back into it, but I just kept thinking about it. I was like, where does that come from?
No clue. It's a weird throwback.
This is kind of a weird week for DC. This is normally like one of the really good weeks where you could have Wonder Woman, Superman, Green Lantern, all that stuff. Like I even thought the Superman stuff was weird.
I thought Superman was good this week. It's definitely a step down from the arc we just had, but I still liked it.
Like I don't think the evacuation of Earth for DCKO is that compelling.
No, but like they tied it all together. Krypton and everything. It was like if you could have gotten everyone out, would you have? And it's like, I mean, it makes sense as to have a backup plan because relying everything on a fighting tournament doesn't seem the smartest. So it makes sense to be able to,
The only backup plan that would make sense is to send people like into another dimension.
Make a battle world.
Yeah, but remember, Darkseid is. He's the other dimension too. He's everything, everywhere, all at once, in every dimension.
Yeah, we saw
in
him
every
fighting
timeline.
wars on like 8 different fronts simultaneously. Like, what is evacuating people into space going to do?
Well, it's going to keep them alive for a little longer because Earth is for sure done if this tournament doesn't work out. Because remember, it's at the heart of it. Is this heart of apocalypse is at the center of the Earth? So that's what it's doing. They'll just keep them alive for however much longer, and there will be heroes on there, so maybe they'll figure something out if they fail.
So I did like the Eddie Barrows art. There was less weird face in this one, so I appreciated that.
Yeah, he still has some crazy eyes, but yeah, he had that great splash page. That was really cool, though. Eddie Barrows had a great splash page.
Yeah, I thought the Green Lantern was probably my number 1 from DC this week.
Yeah, I'd agree there. Green Lantern's probably the best one. It was getting back on track. Got some cool stuff with Hal Jordan, but there's a lot of good indies this week.
There were
the indies
not enough fighting. I don't think there was enough fighting in Green Lantern. It's a superhero book. I liked it and all. And V.K. and Marion's art is great.
Is Green Lantern and Star Sapphire holding hands, and it says "Love Forever."
I know.
Unexpected.
Gay.
I just like the setup of Green Lantern, like with that. So I won't spoil it for anyone that hasn't read it yet, like in the chat. But that setup was intriguing. That's got me excited.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I like when V. Ken shows up.
Yeah, art was really good.
So how you doing, Sully? You've been enjoying Age of Revelation. It was a good week for you?
Yeah, I thought Marvel actually had a pretty strong week. I liked Fantastic Four, #4, a lot. Humberto Ramos's art is just, I love his art. I have for like half my life now, and it's like, he's great. I actually thought the It's Jeff issue 5 was an okay issue because it's issue 5 of 5. So it like wraps up the story. So like reading this bloody thing, it was like 4 issues too long. You could have done this in like an annual, something a little exercised, but it just went on way too long. But you know me.
We really needed built you. It's Jeff.
They built you out of more cash, Sully. They did their job.
But I mean, just like the Marvel Zombies Red Band, the art in that was incredible. The hand-drawn onomatopoeia, and it was a really good story. I think that I think Ultimate Incursion 5 of 5 has that same thing. It went on 4 issues way too long, but at least a lot of stuff happens, and it tells a lot of story. So, I think Marvel had a interesting week for me. Yeah.
Who the hell illustrated Marvel Zombies?
I'm not even a big Marvel Zombies fan. I just thought that, the art, as a single issue, we're given this opportunity to critique art and story, but as a single issue in an ongoing.
No, I was just asking who the artist was.
Oh, the artist. Let me just real quick. It was Basil Dua.
Jan Bazulia?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he's fine. He's pretty good. I didn't check that one out. I could only read so many Marvel books in a week.
That's a weird artist to pick for a Marvel Zombies book.
Killer art in this, man. Yeah, great panels. I mean, beautiful onomatopoeia. I love hand-drawn sound effects. Dude, I got my all in this book.
But I don't see him as a horror style artist at all. So I like Wambazula, but I don't think he works for that. But right, that's just me.
And Predator Black, White, and Blood #4 was amazing. It was really good, and hats off to that. Really good book. Yeah.
Well,
Marvel had a good week.
Sully finished his recommendations for the week already.
No, I haven't even gotten
there. All right, show's over.
I'm just being the ebullient, positive, funny guy.
What do you mean? You came in here like trying to bash Green Lantern when we were talking about how good it was. Yeah. You're not the positive guy. No, you're not.
Of course.
Come fucking
on.
poser.
This guy.
Yeah. Cut that out. In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware our power, Green Lantern's light. Don't you go there, Dylan. Don't you lay that hate on me, Ricky Bobby.
You were the one who went there. We were talking about it.
There's not enough
So
action in it.
you
It's
come
a
and you're like,
superhero
no,
book.
actually, it's not very good.
Great
But
art
these
by
dog
D.
shit Marvel
Kanarian.
comics, you guys should spend your money on those.
So yeah, you guys should buy the red band. You should spend your money on the red band. That's what I recommend.
Come on, I love
It's
Jeremy
Jeff.
and Adams.
Maybe
I'm not
some
gonna.
blind bags while you're at it.
Oh yeah, I got a blind bag for you. It's a sad sack.
Tommy, did you fall for any of these blind bags? I know you were into the TMNT blind bags, dude.
No,
Or was it Battle Beast?
No, it was Battle Beast. I did the Battle Beast ones when they first came out. They were same price as the cover price. The new bags are $9.99.
Yeah, they're
I'm
$10.
not doing $9.99. So if I'm going to pick up Battle Beast, which I'm absolutely enjoying, by the way, I don't mind buying another one, cover just to see what I got. I think it's kind of fun. I did it with my son-in-law, and he was like, "Oh, this is really cool." So we had a blast. Then I went back and got some of the DC ones, and they're $9.99. I'm like, nah, that's crazy.
Man.
Come on now.
You see Sully's covers? They're all dinged
Yeah.
up.
No,
Tommy,
that's
did you
not
see
right.
that last week? I paid $9.90. Now that could have happened anywhere in the custody chain, probably within distribution. But I opened my blind bag. I was happy at first because, like you said, it's fun. It really is. But then after, I was like, "Whoa! Look at that big ass ripple." From the cover to like halfway through the book on the top. Look at that corner. It's got a ding, man. Look at that ding. Oh, gee,
No, that's not cool.
that's not cool. Yeah.
Charging double for something you don't even know what you're getting. I don't know. It's not for me.
Well, can you imagine? Like, remember when they were doing the Hickman did the X-Men relaunch, the House of X, Powers of X, and they were doing those stupid design covers where it was just like, the pictograms or whatever that he finds so fascinating, and they were selling those covers. Like, I feel like that's what you would get. You would pay $10 and you'd get some shitty cover like that, that you're like, that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted them when they were releasing them, and you could just buy them off the shelf. So they'll just cram that kind of, cheap kind of like, hey, how do we put some more covers in here that we don't have to pay an artist for, or, that we can get on the cheap, and then you're stuck with it for $10.
Or when
It's a scam.
Chip Zdarsky did those how to draw covers
Oh
a
yeah.
number of years ago that were just fucking terrible.
Yeah, remember you blind bag, you go to the Dollar General and you get 3 comic books for $3, but you
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, I
That's
mean,
a
you
fucking
know
blind
what
bag.
like one, and I remember when you would know what the two on the outside were,
Right,
but then
yeah.
the middle was like Airboy or like for some like off publisher, you'd be like, what is this?
Ollie's still offers though. You can get those at Ollie's right now.
And
I-
Five Below.
Yeah, Five Below too has them. Yeah.
Are they $10?
No, they're like
it's-
$3.99 for 5
Exactly.
comics. It's like super. And that's
Yeah,
kind of
that's-
cool, right? Because then you don't know what you're getting in the middle, and I don't mind doing that. It's kind of fun. But
Nobody
man,
minds
that's
playing the
$3.99.
lottery, 5 comic books for $4.
Yeah.
It's a deal.
That's a deal, man. 80 cents a
No, no.
comic. That's
When
old
you used to be able to go and get the grab bags, and it would be like 5 comics, for like $2, and you'd be like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
what do I get?" There's like a Marvel on one side, and there's a DC on the other, and then you open it, and you're like, "Femforce, what's that?" And it's like,
Radioactive.
My
black belt
buddy
hamsters.
did the DCKO blind bag, and he was like showing it on social media for weeks. He finally opens it up, and so it's like, "What cover did you get?" It's the cover with all the blocks and all the competitors. Like, who would want that cover? And he even put little sunglass emojis on, like it was cool. I was like, that's the fucking lamest cover they had. I
yeah,
paid $10 for that.
yeah. Oh, but it's rare.
Not rare.
The only thing
You know what
I'll
else
do
is-
spend
You know what else is
extra money on-
white dog poop, but I just still don't want it.
The only cover I'll spend extra money on is for Skin Breakers. The
Skin
art
Breakers is
is
great.
so insanely good. Finch is drawing his life. Man, it's one of the most beautiful comics I think I've seen in a long time, man. The
Yeah,
details-
Sully's out here reading fucking It's Jeff while the real men are reading fucking Skin Breakers, yo.
Hey, comics are for everyone, man. Love is love, man. Come on.
Maybe
No,
they
that's
shouldn't be.
They really shouldn't.
Gatekept you.
But
You
Skin
know who
Breakers
comics-
2 was great this week.
You know who
So
comics aren't for? People that don't like fucking comics.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that too much of the comics industry is controlled by people who don't like comics.
Mm.
So what cover did you get, Tommy? Did you get the Finch cover or something?
I did. I got the Finch cover. I'm collecting the head shot covers. I love those, man.
I got that for issue 2 as well.
Yeah, so good, man. I gotta see if I can find it, but yeah, it's
Is it Old Man Enoch or is it the new
Man.
bad guy?
old man. So good, man. I have to see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, those covers are insane. Skin Breakers, I'm so excited about this title. I thought it was yeah, there it is right there. I thought it was going to be more like a Conan type story, so it kind of threw me off that first issue, but I'm really liking it.
Yeah, it's
Really
definitely not Conan. It's more
No.
like Apocalypto with aliens instead of,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just like indigenous cultures or something.
so
how they're
good, though.
adapting.
The art's insane.
Yeah, that one was really good. Sully, what else has been going on with you? Did you have a good week?
I had an excellent week. I made some soup. Did you see that on the internet? I
The
put it
Salt
on
and
the
Soup
Twitters.
strikes again.
The salt in the soup lives again. He rides again. I made a 3-bean veggie chili because the guy who makes the soup called out sick. And I was like, Eric, can you make the soup today? I'm like, yep. So I yesterday's leftovers is today's soup. It's kind of like, and that's what being a chef is. It's like, it was very Top Chef in a way. Like, here's your ingredient. Your ingredients are like, are brown rice and black beans, the black bean stew. I'm like, sure.
Did you get some like jalapeno cornbread with some like baked cheddar on top to make it even better?
No, but now you've
Oh.
inspired me, and I could make croutons out of those.
Absolutely.
As like, you know what I mean? Jalapeno cornbread croutons. My mouth just watered. See, Wes, you are also a culinary alchemist. See, this is like,
No, he's
Dude.
an asshole because we get on this show and we're stuck here for like another 2.5 hours, and he always like brings up food so that we spend the whole rest of the show thinking about how hungry we are and how
But
we
there's
just
so
want
much
to get away to go
eating
get
over-
something.
there's so much eating in comic books. People talk over
Exactly.
dinner. all
Yeah,
the
and
time.
that's what
Part of the
makes it
culture.
fucking terrible.
But this is what I
This is
did.
what he does.
Sully.
This is what he does on the podcast too. Like, we sit down and record the podcast, and he makes sure to bring up food.
Have you thought about jelly donuts lately? I love me a chili donut. What do you think about that,
That's
Aaron?
because
It's like-
it's over in fucking Philippines. It's goddamn snack time for him.
God, if you were in front of me right now, I would hit you with my car.
But this is what I did, Sully. My something had come up. My wife ended up having to take all the kids to the doctor because they were all sick, and we hadn't really we had kind of bare cupboards. We hadn't planned out what we were going to eat for dinner or something. She was supposed to pick something else up and wasn't able to do it. And I started looking at everything, and I was inspired by Chef Anne Burrell off this show that she had made like a risotto version of oatmeal. And that's what I did. I made some like good chicken stock. I threw some mushrooms in there, some chicken, and all this stuff. And when they got home, they got this wonderful like oatmeal porridge risotto thing, and it knocked it out of the park, dude.
Nice. And R.I.P. Chef Ann. Seriously.
Absolutely.
I there are so many TV chefs. I am just one of your many TV chefs. Just remember that. So subscribe on YouTube. I got a playlist for that.
So we do have a Halloween coming up. It'll actually be done by the time we get back to the aficionados next week. What's your favorite Halloween treat, Sully? Like, what's your number one?
Well, firstly, I'm team candy corn, but my favorite Halloween candy has got to be the Reese's peanut butter cup pumpkin shaped one because it's extra big, and I love the peanut butter that's in a Reese's peanut butter cup and peanut butter and chocolate. You got your peanut butter in my chocolate. You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. I love it. That's my favorite candy.
My aunt is actually in the chat right now, so keep it clean, folks. She's a very nice lady.
Okay.
One thing I could definitely agree with Sully, man. The pumpkin and the Christmas tree during the holidays for Reese's.
Or even like Easter, you get the egg. I don't know. It's like extra chocolate, and the
Yeah.
they changed the chocolate
Extra
to peanut
peanut
butter
butter.
ratio, and it's better.
Yes,
so good.
exactly.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a great.
But
I love-
also, Sully, the guy that likes Jeff Landshark, also liking candy corn, kind of tracks.
Yeah,
yeah, no.
yeah.
I thought that too. I'm like, I'm not gonna say nothing.
I'm
wait.
a maverick. You know what I mean? I
You
got
gonna
have
find out-
terrible
we're gonna-
taste.
here.
You're gonna find out that he likes circus peanuts.
I'm reeling you in here. I was like,
I love getting Smarties.
you're gonna need a bigger boat for that, Jeff.
So, Tommy,
Yeah.
Aaron and I almost came to blows on a podcast this week talking about candy and what our favorite candy bar was. And he was trying to claim a Reese's peanut butter cup is his favorite candy bar.
It's not a bar.
That's not what I said. I said it wasn't a bar.
No, I said it wasn't a bar. You said it constituted a bar because it came in the same.
I
That
never
was
said
me.
this.
That was me.
Yeah, you
That was
said
you,
me
Doc?
because you asked me, and then I was like, no, it's not a bar, and you were like, well, Doc says it's a bar, and I was
Oh,
like, oh, why are you dragging me into your fight with Doc?
Because
Yes.
it comes in a rectangular packaging.
Okay,
Just
Doc
go
and I
for
were
a
coming
fast
at it.
break then. That's what you're going for. Fast break is their
Well,
candy bar.
my question then is: a Take 5 a bar? Just
Yes,
because
there's
it's
two
but,
bars.
but it's still just the same pack. It's the same size packaging.
But the shape matters. Like a Twix is a bar technically because it's long and rectangular. Like if it's in any way rectangular, it's a bar.
Okay, so then a Reese's cup at Halloween when they're pumpkin shaped, or at Christmas when they're Christmas tree shaped. Now, because it's no longer round, it's a candy bar. Even though
Well,
it's
you're
the
making a
exact same
legitimate
fucking
argument
thing.
at this point, Doc.
Yeah, you're
making a
getting
legitimate
close.
Argument, but it still comes in the little cup packaging. where
Right.
There's no
Aaron calls them the
cup
packaging
packaging around
A
it.
chocolate bunny is not a
There's no-
bar. A chocolate
Yeah,
bunny
it
is a
comes.
bunny.
There
comes
is
in the-
no paper around the Christmas tree or the pumpkin.
All right, I'll call it a candy bar then.
Is there any other candy that comes in the little candy panties?
I love taking
It's
the
got to be a
panties off.
knockoff.
What's that fancy one that's
Oh,
in the old package?
Oh, the
Ferrero
we got
Rocher.
Mallow,
Yeah.
Mallow cups.
Mhm.
The
Once again, cups, not candy bars.
You just call them a
Malamars.
cup, Doc.
Even they define it as a cup.
Malamars. And Hurley woke up one time on the island on Lost. He was like, Malamars. My favorite.
What's your
Lost
favorite
movie.
candy bar, Tommy? Do you have a favorite Halloween treat?
Yeah, I am a Reese's guy, but there is a candy that I grew up on called Uno. You know which one that one is?
I remember seeing the
No.
bar. I don't remember the flavor.
UNO, Uno.
I remember them.
They're
Remember
like
the
a
weird
it's
card
like a
games?
Describe
chocolate
the
with a
bar.
soft inside. It's so good, man. They're hard to
Mm.
find, but I grew up on those. Those are really good.
You seem like a dude that runs like the high-end Halloween candy house in the neighborhood. It probably
It's-
has like the good display on the outside, and then wow, you get full-size Snicker bars at that house or something.
I don't know about that. I mean, I do a lot of Reese's because I like to eat as I'm giving them away, and then I'm sick the next day. But yeah, definitely, if you want Reese's peanut butter cups, come to my house.
You don't do Smarties and candy corn. You go for the name
It's
brand.
got to be Reese's, Hershey bars, something like that.
You should always have some Smarties for the teenagers that come dressed as like, trying to get candy. There you go. You get some Smarties.
They need to have like individually wrapped circus peanuts for those folks.
Just each peanut is in a little cellophane. Oh, that'd be amazing.
What are circus peanuts? Is this something I've missed out
Oh
on?
yeah, you
Circus
gotta check them
peanuts?
out.
Oh, they're
Is
like
it just the-
marshmallow puffs that are orange
But they're-
and peanut
Yeah.
shaped.
Yeah,
They
big
taste
Oh, those
orange,
are
like
great.
bubble
Yeah,
gum or
fantastic.
something. I don't know how to explain it. It's a unique.
No, I got you. They're like
Chalky.
peanuts, but they look like peanuts.
Yeah.
Addictive.
No, I got sick on those once as a kid, and then just like did the Technicolor orange vomit, and ever since then I can't look at circus peanuts. I just
And that's where Ninja Turtles came from.
All right, Doc. Since
What?
apparently I'm misquoting people, what was your favorite candy?
Well, again, Reese's peanut butter cups. You said
But
favorite
not-
candy,
Yeah, not a
not
candy bar.
candy bar, not candy,
Peanut butter cups. I personally like
or
100
chocolate
grand.
pretzels.
100 grand is my definite
100
number
grams
one.
good. Zagnut. Any love for Zagnut?
So, Doc, I like the white chocolate covered pretzel that you get for Christmas more than just a regular chocolate covered pretzel.
I'm a big fan. Like I'm from Pittsburgh. We have Saris candy around here, so the sleeves of fucking Saris chocolate covered pretzels, dope.
Very nice. Dylan, what's your favorite? You're the youngster. What's the new rage candy?
I don't know what New Rage candy is. Well, I know what the New Rage candy is.
Do you
Everyone
like
loves
the Mr. Beast chocolate or something?
No, everyone loves Nerd Clusters. That's
Oh,
what
yeah,
people
Nerd.
love.
Oh,
But
yeah.
mine,
Oh,
Snickers is my go-to. I love Snickers.
it's a classic for a reason, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
packed with
Snickers,
peanuts.
great.
It satisfies.
Really satisfying, yeah.
I found this list and they try to claim that Snickers and Baby Ruth are essentially the same candy bar.
Not even.
Fuck
No,
you,
close.
that's
buddy.
not
even
It's
close.
not even
was-
promote.
I was
You got an
curious.
unrefined palate, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gutter palette.
I mean, come on.
That is-
There's a reason why Sloth likes Baby Ruth.
If you took
Baby
a
Ruth
if you
is
took
a
a
good candy bar.
if you took a mortar to the taste buds in the war, maybe they taste the same, but otherwise,
Yeah.
no.
No, that was terrible. So, are we all like, excited? Who all's dressing up for Halloween? Nobody. Sully, you're dressing up. You're a grown child.
Not this year, no. I could.
You
I
have
have
like
that
8
Robin.
costumes.
I do. I got like that. I actually lost some weight on this diet that I'm on, and I can fit better into that Robin costume. That I'm not entirely embarrassed to wear the shorts that I got with the costume. I got those 70s shorts, like the 3-inch hem, just to show off my Irish farmer's thighs.
But you're taking the holiday off?
Yeah, I'm not doing it. It's on a Friday. I mean, I shut off
That's
the
the perfect
porch
time
light.
to go hit a pub.
Yeah,
You're
Friday.
gonna pub in those shorts.
Yeah,
You'll get hit on, or you'll just get hit.
Go to the Regal Beagle.
It is Boston.
Get some corned beef and cabbage, and have a couple of beers in your Robin suit.
It's actually a turkey dinner at the pub there and a pint of Guinness. It was the blue plate special. It was wicked pissa.
And then you end it the way they end every holiday in Boston, with a fist fight outside of the Dunkin'.
Oh, we drink and we drink and we drink and we drink and we fight and we fight and we fight and we fight. We drink and we fight.
I won't be dressing up in costumes either.
What are the
I'm
kids
a
dressing
boring-
up as? I mean, that's like
My
I'm
two
dressed-
oldest are dressing up as Saja boys,
Mhm.
and then my youngest is either Superman or a dinosaur.
Oh, that's so cool.
We had our first Halloween party yesterday, and the youngest was Superman, and then his older brother, that's 6, was Luigi. But we didn't want to paint him up with all the patterns and stuff for the Saja boys yet.
Mm-hmm. And
But
Tommy,
they ended
you
up
got
winning some
grandkids?
stuff.
Dylan, the Saja boys are characters from the hit anime that's currently all the rage, K-pop Demon Hunters.
It's true.
I did have no idea what he was talking about.
Like Dylan, you're young. Are you going out trick or treating?
No, not quite that young.
So, Tommy, you got grandkids. Are they dressing up? Are we doing superheroes this year?
No, we have a 1-year-old and a 9-month-old, so I'm not sure.
Wow,
if
they're going to be
girls-
pumpkins or something.
Yeah, there'll be something super cute, but
Yoshi.
Yeah. Now we'll probably be just hanging out the house, handing out candy. They're a little young right now. Maybe they'll walk them around the neighborhood or something. But it seems like our neighborhood is a pretty big Halloween spot, so we have a lot of kids in the neighborhood, so it should be fun.
Wow, you're lucky. A lot of people tell me that there's like no kids left in America.
Yeah. Well, I live in Texas, so there's a lot of young people, at least where I live, in between Austin and San Antonio, and I think there's gonna be a lot of kids in my neighborhood for sure.
Well, very nice. Let's give a shout out. We have a new backer on Thinking Critical Patreon. Really appreciate everybody. If you're interested in backing us, there's a link in the video description. You get a superhero name, you get a city to protect, and you get awesome extra videos and podcasts. So thank you very much to Naysayers, aka Negatron, the protector of the Nasatron. Obviously, all Transformers themed. Hope you're enjoying all the podcasts and the wonderful conversations between Doc and myself that I attribute to Aaron and other mistakes that I have throughout the week as I'm getting older and less reliable with my stories, apparently.
Negatron transforms into a canoe. I don't know if you've seen the Family Guy with Megatron, where he transforms to a canoe, and then Megatron's like, "Whoever heard of a Decepticon that transforms into a canoe?" And he's like, "One day there's going to be a battle on a lazy moving river, and you'll be glad to have me."
That's it for the peoples. We've got Jadford 2, aka Shenanigans. Hey, I am excited. Josh Williamson is on Iron Man, baby. First thing I am excited for from Marvel in a bit, we can get some good old Shellhead, no Iron King Drek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be. Look, if
Fingers
there's
crossed.
anybody, if there's anybody at Marvel that can actually possibly do okay, it'd be Josh Williamson on Iron Man. Nobody else seems to have a goddamn clue who he even.
If there's
who
anybody
Iron
at
Man
Marvel
is.
that can do a good story, it's somebody not at Marvel.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
Bring him in.
That's the point.
And then when they give him a new #1 in a year, that'll be fun too.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck yeah.
He won't be Iron Man anymore. He'll be like Metal Man or something stupid.
Remember when you-
Man, or it'll be Tony Stark, Iron Man #1.
Yes.
Do you remember the
Stark
days
is
when
the
you
Iron
could
Man.
you could go to the Overstreet price guide and you could look up Iron Man, and it was like Iron Man issue 1, and then it would just run through up to the current number. And now you got to go Iron Man, first volume 1.
Technically,
Iron
I don't
Man,
think there was an
volume
Iron
17.
Man one.
Yeah, there was.
I thought it started in
Nope.
Tales to.
Nope. Tales of Suspense was his first appearance, but he got a solo series, and he had the Tales of Suspense series for a long time. but then they launched a solo title with him. It did not just
They
change
didn't do it like
numbering.
Hulk, where it like started with the numbering that it started in the other series.
Well, Hulk
But
started with
Thor-
Hulk
You're
started
thinking
with
Thor
number
with
one,
Journey into Mystery.
Journey into
Yeah,
Mystery,
okay.
and Captain America. Well, technically Captain America had a number one, but then it became again Tales to Astonish.
I'm
I don't
looking in
fucking
my
remember.
see every good comic collector. You should have an Overstreet price guide. Why not? They're great. They really are.
That's
And-
when I bought all those Jonah Hex comics at Dallas. There was a one vendor that every single comic he went to the price guide. And I was like, let me see. I was like, oh man, this guy's real old school.
No,
The
you
Tales
don't.
of-
You don't buy from that guy.
We had
I'd
Tales
rather
of
do that guy than the guy going onto eBay and be like, "Well, I got
I-
this
I-
9
He had
fucking
my-
point
no.
eight."
I
He
don't.
had much better prices than some other ones. that went
I
to.
understand
Yeah.
that, but you never buy from the guy that prices when you go to buy the books. It's
Mhm.
his job to keep his fucking inventory priced. If
Mhm.
you're gonna do his job by bringing it to him so he can price the inventory,
Mhm.
pay me, motherfucker.
Yeah,
When
but
I
if
was-
he's going to give you a deal because his Overstreet guide is 2 years out of date, I'd say go with it.
But the thing is, sometimes you get an okay deal. Sometimes you get ripped the fuck off because the book tanked.
Plus, then does he grade it right there? Like, especially if it's an
Yeah.
old book, is he like, oh, well, it's very fine condition? Like, price your stuff. When I worked at a comic book store right out of high school, every week we were going through the bins and we were looking and we were saying, like, okay, the new price guide is out. You know, what do I need to raise? What do I need to lower? What do I need to adjust? And we would go through and do it. It's just part of the maintenance of having back issues.
The Guide to
Jeez.
Grading is also a very valuable book for anyone out there. Like, if you don't have this book, go and get it. It's going to show you what all the dings are on your book, your corners. It's going to make you so aware of the quality of your collection too. And when you're
Are you the
buying
one that's
them,
doing the dings?
I know.
That
I
was
thought
me,
muffins were ready or
I was
something.
I said ding, and I usually go
What are
with
we
a ding.
doing? Like the whatever Kramer from the fucking MSNBC?
No, I'm ripping off.
What are you,
Bertucci.
Jim? Are you Jim Cornette? Listening to Tony Khan and ringing it every time he says "great"?
have
So
no
you're just
idea.
ringing it continuously.
I have no idea what that reference is, man, but I still love you.
Fucking props? What is this?
I don't know who Jim
Man, that's a
Cornette
ding.
is.
It's something I do in my show. It's like when I'm looking at look at that ding, ding, and
Every time Sully opens a blind bag, he has to ding several times because they've jacked up
Pavlovian.
his book.
The hell is going on here? Federico de la Casa. Hi, as a Jim Shooter fan, I almost have everything till Broadway Comics. I'd like to know where to find this last will that you quoted in the video. Oh, so that's actually very, very easy to find. It's not his last will. It is a book proposal that he lined up in 1989, and he was going to write the book, and he wrote up a ton of the information of what he was going to do, but it never came to fruition. He was never able to finish it, but it was published, the book proposal itself and everything that he put together posthumously on the Jim Shooter blog. So if you just type in Jim Shooter blog into Google, it'll bring it up, and it's called super shady, like the rise and fall of comic books or something like that, or the decline and fall of
Supervillains?
comic books. What's up?
Super villains.
Super villains, yes.
Yeah.
The decline and fall of comic books. There's
I
3
was
parts
reading
to
that.
it,
Yeah,
and it's very, very good.
it's really in depth too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that stuff. The history of publishing, that was like totally up my alley. Totally.
Yeah, so I would definitely suggest that to anybody. Go check it out for yourself because it was a fantastic read. Jordan Fugate, Wes, what do you think about Jason Aaron's TMNT run now that it's ended? I thought it was the best book that it's been since Waltz was on it. Well, yeah, because the only other TMNT like main book since then was from Sophie Campbell. It was way better than Sophie Campbell's, especially when Juan Ferreira comes in as the artist. It's probably the best TMNT art, I think, in the history of the comic book series. So I like it quite a bit. I think Jason Aaron did his very best to get TMNT back on track by the end, and I think he accomplished that. So I think it's a good run and definitely worth your time. I think it's sad that he's only doing 12 issues, and Gene Yang does not inspire a lot of confidence, but we'll see what happens. But I would definitely give a tip of the cap to Jason Aaron and what he did on TMNT. Did anybody else read his TMNT?
No,
Yes.
I skip things that have Jason Aaron's name. on
Okay,
it.
yeah.
It was really good. I was kind of disappointed that it came to an end. And the
Well, they
art
can't pay
was-
him. They can't pay him anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's sad because I felt like TMNT kind of got back on track, and
Mhm.
now they're going in a bazillion different directions. So it kind of disappointed me, but I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of TMNT books now. Everybody's
Yeah,
got to have a solo book because they paid so much for the license.
I mean, Jason Aaron has been writing an Uncle Scrooge Disney book, and I've been reading it, and I've been because it comes in like the review stuff, and it's like this isn't all that bad. I have to admit it. I'm like, I think that the Uncle Scrooge book written by Jason Aaron is like, wow, like it's got an interesting tone and beautiful art, and yeah, I just
That's a Sparrow book, Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck. If I've ever heard one.
I think I need to be the judge of this.
I feel like Jason Aaron shouldn't know how to write an Uncle Scrooge book. He doesn't know how money works.
Exactly. It's like
he's
it's
a
like
dirty
unexpected.
commie.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, greedy and envious. Yep, never mind. He's a dirty commie, so that makes sense.
This is like after I left Boom, they were trying to do a DuckTales story where Scrooge realizes he needs to give back all of the treasures he's collected to the indigenous peoples. And that went over about as well as you can imagine.
Yeah, they covered that in Nightwing last year, right? Nightwing gave away all of Alfred's money.
Yeah, and then
I bet he
meanwhile, you
started
see,
building monuments to himself.
Yeah. Good old
Right?
Tom Taylor. He built some monuments to Alfred, yeah. And that's what his big thing was stopping graffiti on that, not the guy that was ripping the hearts out of the citizens of Bloodhaven. That was like a secondary thing.
well, those people have insurance, Dylan.
Well, they were homeless, so they didn't have
Well,
any
they were homeless
insurance.
Oh man. So yeah, I was a fan of Jason Aaron's TMNT, and I would recommend it to anybody. And I think by the end, he did everything that he needed to do to have TMNT in a good place moving forward. So he did a good job.
Do you think he'll do a good job on Thundar?
I hope so. I'm excited for that.
I hope it's
Perhaps. HH and the team behind Sigma Comics. Shout out to Thinking Critical from the Chill Out Expo Jersey. Bunch of celebs and HH in a hotel salon. Slinging Comics. Gotta go meet Ice-T. Support indies and hit like and subscribe.
Dope.
Very cool.
Damn.
Chill out Jersey.
Awesome.
Who doesn't want to go to Jersey to hang out with HH? That
I
sounds
would.
dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, go hang out with Ice-T too.
I know you're a huge Ice-T fan, Doc, because you like Law and Order so much.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's totally.
He's a fine actor, Ice-T.
Am
Really
I
believable.
not attribute? You love Law and Order.
I didn't mind the original ones, but I don't like SVU. I
Oh.
never liked it.
Oh,
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't realize there was like.
There's like 4 Law and Order shows. The
Mhm.
only one I ever
Assume you
liked
like
was
one, you like
Law
them
and
all.
Order.
Law
No,
and
the only one I
Order,
ever
Special
liked was
Victims
Law and Order.
Unit.
Fuck all the
Account-
rest of them.
Sully, do you remember the superhero movie that Ice-T was in?
Oh, no.
Tank
Was it
Girl.
New Jack City?
New Jack City is not a superhero movie.
Yeah,
Isn't it
Tank
though?
Girl. Nobody
Tank
remembers that?
Girl with
Which
Lori
one? Tank
Petty.
Girl. Yeah, Lori Petty.
Lori
Yeah.
Petty. Yeah.
Tank Girl. Oh yeah. Oh,
He was
that
one of
was
the
actually.
kangaroo guys.
Oh my god, who could forget Naomi Watts as Jet Girl? Oh god, I was in love with her. That was a good.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if it was a good movie, but it was like
It's not a good
really
movie. It was terrible.
comics accurate. We talk about that these days. Like it wasn't comics accurate. Well, Tank Girl was.
Baja Cat. Wes attributing quotes to the wrong people has become a staple of the show. That is not by design. It just so happened this week I had conversations about, because it's Halloween week with Aaron and Doc apparently about Halloween candy. And I remember Aaron voraciously supporting and pushing that peanut butter cups were candy bars, and me thinking,
No.
what an
The
idiot.
the reason that you brought it up on the podcast was because you wanted to see where I stood. You said Doc and I had a disagreement, and you presented me the 2 arguments, but you didn't tell me whose was whose. And then when I was on your side, you were like really happy. You were like, "That's what I said."
Yeah,
but Doc
Doc's a
said this
moron.
crazy shit. So I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were trying to pull me into this war between the two of you."
Yeah, but apparently I'm having trouble keeping all of you guys separated. You all look the same to me.
Fucking white people.
Exactly.
We all look the
Neck
goddamn
beards?
same.
Everybody's got beards and hats.
Yeah, once Dylan
Dylan's the
grows
only
his
one that
beard, I'm going to
stands
be
out,
completely fucked.
I'm
Dylan,
a
can you grow a
floating
beard, or are you
mouse.
choosing to?
It grows here and here, and that's it. Like here is super patchy, and it's not good.
Yeah.
So you
it'll
can just
get
do
there
the
when
you
you
can do the
get
goat.
Yeah.
Have
Don't
you
worry.
thought about
As you get older, your ear hair will sprout, and you'll just be able to comb it down into
Fill it
a
in.
weird comb over.
it?
I braid mine once in a while.
This is Captain America's true fight against Hydra. It's the ear hair.
Have you thought about growing out the goatee, Dylan?
No, doesn't look good.
You could do
No?
some Jim the Anvil Neidhart look.
It's not a good look for me. It does not
I
work.
I could see him doing the Tony Stark really well manicured, maybe like with the line that goes up.
Oh,
Kinda
the
decent.
pencil beard.
Yeah.
As long as you don't do that
Shirt.
Anthony Mackie one like that he had in like the later movies where it was like trying to give. He was like, maybe if I just shave it this way, it'll look like I have a jawline.
Nah, don't do that. There we go. But it's not by design. I don't mean to attribute things to the wrong people. Although I still believe that Dylan suggested K-pop Demon Hunters.
You know, they turned on the Hadron Collider. And Wes is just seeing
Exactly.
things that happen in other universes.
It's the fucking Fruit of the Loom thing all over again. Although I do think, Doc, that is a deep fake and a like a covert op just to see what they can make us believe that we know is not true.
Oh,
Yeah.
the cornucopia existed. It's been proven.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, that is 100% a fucking psyop. I blame Obama.
It's got to blame somebody. Nacero 12 is gifting 2 memberships for 2 or a membership for 2 months. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh no, he's a member for 2 months.
Yeah.
Hi there from Spain. What are your views on the coming final boss? I'm ready. I'm really excited about it, but it seems most people don't know it's a new series. The first 4 issues came out in 2021. So that's the Tyler Kirkham series. And it looks phenomenal. I've heard about it, but I've never read it myself.
I definitely have it
Really
in my box. I'm excited about that too. It looks amazing. I love his art.
Have you gotten to see that one, Sully? Dude, you should check it out. It's going to be dope. It definitely feels like
It's called Final Boss by Tyler
yeah.
Kirkham.
Final Boss by Tyler Kirkham.
Okay.
It kind of has a very Fatal Fury look
Okay.
to the main character.
Mhm.
Yeah, it looks like Daniel Warren Johnson wanting to make a pro wrestler into a superhero book.
No, it looks like somebody that can actually draw
Oh my goodness.
that wants to make a pro wrestler into a superhero cover.
Are you?
I think-
Is that on your pull list, Dylan? You going for Final Boss?
It looks good. I'll check out the first issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That
Because
one's-
when Tyler Kirkham draws, everybody doesn't have fucking weird face herpes.
you have face herpes?
No, Daniel Warren Johnson, everything he draws, everybody looks like they got face herpes.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
I'll never have to worry about seeing any of that again. So
Aw. Yeah.
Everybody.
Aw.
Let's get to the main topic. We did have a video that I put out talking about those articles that I mentioned earlier from Jim Shooter's blog about the demise of the comic book industry. It's 3 parts. It was a book proposal. I
Mhm.
thought it was really, really interesting to kind of go through there and kind of point out how a lot of what he was seeing was happening and predicting was going to be the downfall of comic books ended up coming true in a lot of ways. And you can just see how things progressively got worse over 30 years. So I thought it was a really cool exercise. Sully, I know you're a big history buff like myself. What were your big takeaways from those articles or that book proposal?
Well, I love the whole part that, you know, it was a different time because he was 13 years old in the mid 1960s. He got a writing gig at DC Comics. I mean, that would be great now. You want to get kids back into comics, have some kind of talent search, you know, in schools and get some kids writing comics. If you're going to give comics to bad writers, well, why don't you give them to a 12-year-old? See what they can do instead of some of this stuff that they're publishing now. The interesting things too are like the 90s and the 3 failed attempts at different publishers too. I mean, the Broadway comics that flew under my radar. See, there's one thing about being a huge comic book fan all your life. You have no idea of like what you haven't gotten to yet. And I'm like, what's a Broadway comics? Where did I miss that part? You know, are there any comics worthwhile to go back and check out? You know, because I was there for Valiant. I was there for, you know, for Deathmate. I love that thing, and Exo Manowar, and I love Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. Those are some good books at a great time for comics. I was more into Valiant than Image.
I think
So-
Shooter was already out of Valiant by that point.
And then he went on to there was one in the middle too.
Defiant.
Yeah, Defiant. And then, but all three are great stories of just of big business and hostile takeovers and being betrayed by those who are closest to you. Kind of like this metadrama of like what goes on in a comic book. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Jim Shooter days of Marvel. That's when I got into comics. 8 years old, the spinner rack at my local corner store, my bodega. I remember getting Daredevil 174 and 175 in the 50-cent days off of my spinner rack when I was 8 years old. And I've been with it ever since. And those were the Jim Shooter days. And Jim Shooter's got a big impact on me as a comic book fan, but this, I mean, what do you think, Tom or Doc?
I was going to say, Tommy Dillon, I while I don't mind the idea of, like, I guess spreading a little younger for a talent search, do we really, really, really want anyone under the age of, I don't know, 30 involved in fucking bar cons?
I'm thinking, like, we're one of the topics we could be having is talking about Tom King stepping away for 2 issues off of Wonder Woman, and you're having Stephanie Williams take into it. And I saw a really interesting, our friend Gabe, Sus Gabe, made an interesting tweet about it, and someone made a response being like, "Oh, look at the losers poo-pooing a qualified, wonderful artist and writer onto a major book. Only a loser would do that." And I'm just like, don't get involved in any kind of Twitter beefs. I wouldn't suggest that. But it's just more of like the perspective, like, are you kidding me? You're talking about Stephanie Williams? Like, why not? We could be giving that gig to a 12-year-old, kind of like the next Jim Shooter, or
it would be a step up, correct?
Jerry Conway too. I mean, geez. I mean,
I have met, well, I don't really know any 12-year-olds. That'd be weird.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. But I'm going to bet that Stephanie Williams, any of the generic Stephanies, can easily be replaced by, I don't know, your average Call of Duty lobby.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want to punch down on Ms. Williams because I'm not that familiar with her body of work. You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm more familiar.
It's nonsense.
It's not.
Don't worry about it. There's nothing to. There's no body of work to poo-poo.
I know, and then
it sucks. Everything sucks. She has never written anything of any consequence or any quality. Let's move on from this nobody. But no, I mean, do I think? Look, he's got a legacy, yeah, Shooter, but I think he's an aberration. You're never gonna find somebody. Look, some people are just naturally inclined for certain skill sets. And I think Jim Shooter, from a very young age, just understood how comics work, how comic storytelling works, and was a prodigy in that way. You don't really get those people very often. You can't train them to be that. They either are or they're not.
Yeah, you're never going to get another Jim Shooter, but Marvel just desperately needs someone decent to take the reins right now, because at least with DC, you got Scott Snyder kind of spearheading everything, and they're kind of like, everyone knows where they're going, they're heading in the same direction. You look at Marvel, and it's like we got a symbiote event, we've got like 18 different throwbacks events. Hey guys, remember Age of Apocalypse? Hey guys, remember Marvel Zombies? Hey guys, remember Planet Hulk? And it's like, where are we going? What is going on? To where at least with like DC, you're like, all right, you see there's some focus here. With Marvel, it's like there's no one competent taking the reins, like sending us in a direction.
And you do bring up a good point in Scott Snyder, kind of setting the direction for DC. The thing is, him, like Jonathan Hickman, like a bunch of the other kind of talented guys that can have an idea, like a vision. Every single one of them sucks at evaluating talent, or they don't want to make their friends sad. Jim Shooter did not give a fuck about your feelings.
Yeah, that's why they ran him out. Everyone said he was a jerk.
Yeah. You need somebody that is like that doesn't care about their legacy or being friends.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that cares about making money. There's a very famous story about a Christmas party, and one of the I don't remember which writer it was, but he came into the party and Jim Shooter went over to him and like shook his hand and said, "Hey, thank you for everything you did for us," and blah blah blah. And I think like gave him like a Christmas bonus check. And then as they walked away, one of the editors said, "You hate that guy," and Shooter says, "It doesn't matter. He makes us money."
Yeah. That's really what it comes down to. You don't need to give a shit about whether you like them. The problem is everyone in comics wants to be liked. Probably because they don't understand the concept of friendship and they don't actually have friends and zero social.
Well, now it's different. They want to be in consensus. It doesn't really matter if they're not really friends. They're just there's not friendships,
allies.
There's allegiances. And the moment you step a little bit out of line, then you get called on the carpet.
That is true, considering that every time you see people talk about, friendships in fiction, it inevitably turns into one of them fucking the other.
Okay.
Or half the audience expecting them to start screwing. Because they don't know how to they don't understand friendships. They can't write friendships.
Well, they also don't understand leadership. I think you were kind of getting at that, where people don't realize Doc is actually like in almost like an executive level position at a company. Mm-hmm. I've been a senior NCO within the military. At some point, you have to separate friendships and those type of relationships and realize you're the fucking boss and you're responsible for the product that's going out and making sure that it meets all the expectations, that it's performing the way it's supposed to be doing. And Jim Shooter knew how to do that, and that's why they didn't like him. And it makes sense because you do have a bunch of creative people that have never really been in positions of authority or positions of leadership where they realize I'm responsible to something greater than their creative instincts. I actually am serving the purposes of Marvel Comics. In that case,
it's a childish selfishness that most people in comics have, because they don't want to be responsible for anyone else. They don't even want people to be responsible for them. And in a lot of ways, it is seeking a level of freedom and independence that is, honestly commendable. But at the same time, you can't have the boss like that. And you need somebody to be the fucking boss.
What did you think about the stuff about all the distribution that he's absolutely called dead to rights, that the Marvel acquiring Heroes world was like one of the big first steps of just destroying distribution, creating a monopoly? Obviously, we saw that play out within COVID. They ended up having to bring a couple of new distributors on, basically with no notice out of thin air, Doc. And that ended up being a major hurdle.
Well, of course. I mean, look,
would have been nice to have regional distribution.
Yeah, it would have. Look, people need to play to their strengths. And the strength of comics was small but spread out scale that could do volume. They could handle volume because, look, companies by their nature want to consolidate. Because there's efficiencies, there's cost savings that are to be found there. The question is, does it undermine your core competencies? And the core competency of the comic book industry was its ability to service tens of thousands of little venues in small ways with small quantities. Nobody was buying. You know what you don't have when you have a regional distribution model? You don't have 1 in 5,000 variants, because no store is buying 5,000 copies of anything.
Well, I was working in a comic book store after school when the whole distribution thing, the whole shakeup happened, and I remember it was just catastrophic then. And everybody, like all the retailers were talking about how this is not going to bode well. Like, as you know, but what everybody thought was going to happen was they thought, okay, so Marvel's got Heroes World, and then DC signed an exclusive with Diamond, and everybody thought, okay, so like Image and some of the others will go with Capital City, but they didn't. They went and they jumped to Diamond, and Capital City died, and then they were like, oh, this is going to be the end of the industry. And then what happens? A few years later, Marvel goes limping back to Diamond because they failed with Heroes World. And you have the same situation that you have in streaming right now, where everybody got greedy and everybody went out and tried to start their own thing, and now it's slowly collapsing back down to just one or two.
It's an attempt at vertical integration, which, I mean, in theory, makes sense with these companies. They want to, they want to have control of the entire process from development all the way through to end user. But that's not what they're good at. That deviates from their core competencies. They try buying these smaller things up that can do this, and they think they can Frankenstein together this mega machine, and it never works, ever. I mean, what Google's core competence was don't be evil. They started acquiring literally everyone, and they became absolute evil. Hi, YouTube. But no, that's what you had. It shredded the industry at a time where it could have been expanding and developing even more regional distributors. Now you have one distributor, Heroes World, that now needs to service the entire country when it was only designed to service, northern Jersey and fucking New York and Massachusetts. Like, I don't remember exactly where Heroes World serviced, but regardless, it doesn't particularly matter. It was designed to, and now they have to expand and add personnel, facilities, infrastructure for an entire not only just US, but global distribution network.
And establish relationships with comic book shops that are servicing different areas that they've never even spoken to.
Yep. Or they have to start hiring up. This is the way that these regional distributors work. You either start stealing talent from that region that already services it and has or you're acquiring these other ones. You can't go from regional to global like almost overnight or even national without just gobbling up everything in your path. And now you've created a single point of failure.
Essentially what they did, because they became a domino and knocked everything out. It was just really interesting, like reading through everything that he was putting out there, Aaron, like how fortuitous and how aware he was, where all of these little things that were happening that he was watching, Marvel going, becoming a private company and how that was going to affect the company. And he was just essentially right about every single thing that he put out there.
Well, it's I think it was Howard Chaykin once, he was complimented as being like this great futurist. And he said, I'm not a great futurist. He goes, all you have to do to be a futurist is to read read what's going on now, read the papers, read Scientific American, and just take the next step. This is what the next step will be. And so that's essentially what Shooter did, is he just looked at what was happening and he goes, what is the end game? What is the end result of this? Where does this lead? And he was able to predict everything.
And you take also little things. Nothing ever dies or wins just with one big, it's not the fucking lottery. You don't just hit the lottery one day in business and suddenly you're super big or you're broke. That's not how it works. It's a series of a lot of little things that end up amalgamating themselves together into an end product, or an end result. It's the death of 1,000 cuts.
What did you think about it, Doc? Did you have any big takeaways?
I mean, nothing really that everyone else hasn't covered already. I mean, the man was prescient. He was saying everything that everybody now is saying, but over the course of 25 years, and in fairness, you could always argue that, do you know the guy that stands on the street corner and screams the end is near? One day he's going to be right. Obviously, the last day of the earth.
Yeah, but if you read what he put out there,
he
he laid it all out. There was nothing hit.
No, you can look, anybody that thinks the next logical step and the law of you apply the law of unintended consequences, basic logic, and with very, very limited speculation, nothing major coming off the board, like just out of left field, you can generally predict what's going to happen, like within, I don't know, 1 or 2 degrees of accuracy fairly often. Everybody can do this.
Well, and obviously the information was out there, but what do you think was holding, I guess, the comic book industry back, Tommy, from actually, listening to somebody like Shooter? I imagine he's not the only one that noticed these things and put that information out there to say, you know what, screw that. We're just going to keep doing this path that obviously ended up leading to, I would say, destabilization and a decline as far as the scale of the industry.
There's a couple things in business that happens. One, competition is extremely important. So as there's competition, you get some of the best stuff that you'll ever find, whether that's new innovation, whether that's great stories. Once you get that and you start to build your business and your business grows from that, you start to reap the benefits of that innovation and or storytelling. Then you start to become quite powerful within the industry that you play in. Once you get to that point, and as you go public or more investors come in, they certainly want to maintain that. So then what they do is they buy up anything and everything that is their competition. And as new things come out, they sweep in and pick them up immediately. If you look at any large organization that's been successful, they're truly not innovating or doing anything unique now. They're just buying up other companies that are jumping into their segment that they compete in, and they're buying it up. And I feel like Marvel over the years has done that. And now when you look at their quality that they have, it's very low because they've created this environment where there's no competition in their eyes, right? You have DC, you have Marvel, you certainly have some really cool independents, but they've gotten so big and you have so many powerful people behind them. I don't know. I feel like that is the death of all large companies. And unless you continue to buy up properties or push people out that could create that kind of innovation, you're going to be that kind of a company that we see today. It happens in my industry that I'm in. It happens in electronics industry. I'm in the food industry. You see it all the time. You look at big companies like Kraft Foods, they don't innovate anything. They just buy up other new things that are coming into the market, and then they don't have to innovate. They don't have to do anything different. And I think
also a lot of times they'll buy that stuff up and they won't let it come to market because it would
100%.
be challenging to the product they've already got out there.
Absolutely. They'll buy the competitor and they'll let it die because they want to be the sole. So I think, I don't know, innovation competition really needs to be part of this. And right now, there isn't a DC writer and artist. There isn't a Marvel writer and artist. They kind of just bump around. They're all kumbaya. I think back in the day, it wasn't like that. You had someone in Marvel. You knew they were a writer. You knew they were artists long term. They were dedicated to it. Some of them were rewarded for it. And I thought you got a lot better storytelling. If you look at what Jim Shooter did, what the standards that he put in place were absolutely amazing. I had Christopher Priest on last night on my podcast, and he's one of my favorite people to have on because he just says what he thinks. He doesn't care. Again, doesn't mean I agree with everything, but I love how honest he is. And after we got done, I asked him about Jim Shooter. And if you don't know, Christopher Priest came into the industry under Jim Shooter. He learned everything from Jim Shooter. But when he came in and when Jim Shooter got into a position of power, he was in a position of power with a lot of amazing, like Buscema. There's so many amazing people that had been there for a long time, and they hated him for that because he was young. He reached kind of the highest level that you could reach within the industry, and they weren't going to listen to some young guy, and that created a lot of rift in there. But the standards that he put forward, Christopher said, I hated writing for him, but he loved that guy because he learned everything from him. And is because of those standards, he felt like he got better and better. We don't have that today. And I don't know. I don't know if
No, I mean, do you think anybody under, Tom Brevoort is getting better?
No.
Do you think that he's like imparting any knowledge to anybody?
Because he doesn't have a certain standard that he's fighting to maintain. Jim Shooter knew how to be successful. He had a standard that he wanted everybody within that organization to live by, and it pissed off a lot of it happens in any business. You see a younger person get promoted, and you have people who have been in that job for a very long time. Nobody wants to listen to this young person tell them what to do. I've been here for 30 years. What are you going to teach me? And that creates a lot of rift, and that's why you have a lot of people that really despise Jim Shooter. It's mainly some of those older folks that came under him that really did not like his style. But anybody that came under Jim Shooter during that time, entering in the industry for the first time, they adored him because of those standards were so high. They learned so much. I can tell you the people that I've learned from in my industry the most are those type of people that had high standards. They expect a lot from you. They don't put up with bullshit. And we just don't see that in leadership today within the comic book industry. And that's the reason why you're getting such, I think, low quality product.
So Tommy, I think you brought up a really good point as, Marvel, if they don't see that there's competition or don't feel like there's competition, they don't have to raise their game. They can just kind of do what they're doing and even atrophy over time as they're not maintaining any type of standard. What part do you think like the MCU and the success of the MCU to where Marvel characters became, this multi-billion-dollar, franchise just as far as superheroes, not just in comic books, but within, pop culture at large, became the biggest movie franchise of all time? Maybe they said, you know what? Look at what our characters are doing, what they're worth. What do we have to change? We've created all of this and not realizing that you needed to create new fertile ground for more stories moving forward.
Yeah. When you hit the pinnacle, sometimes you take your foot off of the gas and you ride that out way too long. And I think they did that. They were living off of what the movies did. It did nothing for the comic book industry. And they stopped putting the focus on the actual comic book and the storytelling. All those movies were adapted from writers from years ago. They weren't adapted off of whatever was happening at the time in comic books. So I don't know. I feel like they have gotten a little lazy, and because they've taken their foot off the gas, leadership's gotten a little lazy, and they kind of just don't have standards that hold people to be able to write the stories that most fans are looking for. And so you get a lot of gobbledygook.
What do you think about all that stuff? Dylan's like a newer, younger man. You're not new. You've been reading comic books your whole life, but does that seem to be ring true for you? I know you're more of a DC guy, but it is rough kind of going over there and peeking behind the curtain at Marvel these days.
Yeah, definitely. And especially the quote where he was talking about how he drove away talent from the industry and didn't want to pay for it. And it's like, that's the biggest thing I see. And like Tommy was pointing out, how you don't really have a Marvel and DC guy. Like there's no like, hey, I go over there. They got this one guy exclusive that I really like. That's writing a lot of good books. It's like, no, their best, most solid writer has been Philip Kennedy Johnson. He's writing for everyone. Like they don't really, they don't have a person because they don't pay anyone. They had Remender, they had Brubaker, and now those guys are writing some of the best comics in the industry, but they're not writing them for Marvel. It's like they had the money, they could have paid those guys, but no. And instead we get all this mediocre talent, and we don't get good comics from it.
This is a famous story. I think it happened at San Diego Comic-Con where I think Grant Morrison had left DC and went over to Marvel. It was a big deal, and he was writing new X-Men. And he had signed a new deal to go back over to DC, but Joe Quesada didn't know about it. You remember that one, Doc? Joe Quesada lost his fucking mind.
Oh yeah, they had a big fucking blow up in the middle of the convention, out on the floor, because the announcement was made and Joe didn't know. He wasn't given, the courtesy of even having that conversation with Grant. And so look, back then at least he had somebody with fucking balls.
Well, that feels like competition. What are you doing to me? That you're attacking me and my business? I'm not going to put up with this. That's like
the
somebody that's invested in what they're doing.
The last EIC that seemed to actually want to push the envelope, have some competition until he got lazy, once Marvel got bought by Disney was Joe. He actually was trying to push for better, for greatness. Then they got bought, and he realized he now had a giant golden parachute, and stopped giving a fuck. You can see that in the last couple of years of his EIC tenure, and then when he moved on to that CCO position, and Axel Alonso became the EIC. Yeah, it just all, he stopped giving any shits whatsoever because he no longer had anything to really push for.
Yeah. I think the industry would be in a much better place. So if there were people that were Marvel guys and DC guys, and maybe you had some young up and comers doing some work, maybe for both companies, but and they wanted to outdo each other. They wanted to have the number one book for DC or for Marvel, but it just feels like they're all pals.
Well, they used to. His name was Jeff Johns, right? Like for 20 years, he was like one of the architects of this awesome DC universe. One of my favorite things in the world was to open up a new issue of Green Lantern every month, or one of the events. Like I loved Infinite Crisis. I loved that span, but we're blessed and grateful to have him over on Ghost Machine doing his own thing. But we could have kept him on DC. Like, it's just they don't think like that anymore. Oh, sure.
When did you start noticing that happen? Where everyone just decided we're all pals? It's almost like what's happening to the NBA nowadays.
Yeah.
You notice like nobody hates each other.
Well, that's because that's because half the league's about to get arrested for fucking fixing games.
Yeah, but back in the day, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, they respected each other, but when they played, they wanted to kill each other.
Yeah, they weren't
same
friends
thing with
until
Michael
after they
Jordan,
retired.
Isaiah Thomas.
Because Bird would talk shit. Like I love those stories where it's one of the sports ball things that I know and that I love because I liked basketball back then. Is Bird would tell you, basically he would do the thing that the guys do in movies, like that Riddick does, where he's like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, do this, and to snap your neck, and then I'm going to, Bird used to do it on the court. He'd be like, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to intercept the ball, I'm going to get it, I'm going to go there, I'm going to shoot the jump shot, I'm going to hit it, and he would do it. He would tell you what he was going to do, and you still couldn't stop him.
Yeah, but nowadays in the NBA they don't even try. That's why the games are all like 145 to 130.
Well, now if you talk to each other on the court, you get whistled, and there's no.
I think they do talk to each other. Like, what are we doing after this game? Are we going to dinner?
No, we're going to get together and we're going to fix the next game.
You can't hand check anyone anymore, right?
I hope LeBron is implicated in all this. I'd love to see LeBron go to jail.
I heard a good quote from Kevin Garnett a few years ago, and because I was blessed to have him on the 2008 championship Celtics, and he was like, "Could you imagine guarding Michael Jordan if I wasn't able to hand check him?" And like the league today, they couldn't hold a candle to like the physicality of what we had to go through as players.
Yep.
Some basketball aficionados, anyone?
No, I'm just blaming it on Dylan and his generation. It's all the fucking participation trophies. You guys ruined competition. Good job, Dylan.
I think it's more of the K-pop Demon Hunters viewers that have ruined this. You guys go soft. You guys are soft.
Well, because no one's getting fired, from writing staffs for failing sales or for having like critically panned books, because that's just
if you do terrible at Marvel, you get to go over to DC and get a big Batman book or something.
Or you fail upwards. You go, if you're Sana Amanat and you've done nothing for the company except get them a little bit of PR, but nothing. You haven't made them any money. You get bumped up to Marvel Studios.
Or if you write one of the most universally panned Spider-Man runs of all time, you get the first DC Marvel crossover in 20 years.
Yeah, if you tank the brand of brands, you just get to keep your job as the head of Lucasfilm. I mean, it's all failing upwards.
I think a Jim Shooter for me was this kind of unification of of creative vision and then having the know-how of your trade. He was a publisher in the periodical print industry in one of its heydays, and just like one of the things I like to come back to is the Columbia bike thing. Okay, he sold space on the covers of his comic books. He also did this with Toys R Us. This comic could be worth $2,500 to you. but he only did that for like 1980 and 1981. So it's something that he tried, and it stuck with me because that was like my axial age of coming on to this thing. And I just love that spirit. But also he was a creative, he was a writer, but also he had all the information and all the wherewithal and skill set to be a magazine publisher. And now that's changed in comic books. I mean, what comics needs is like someone like a Jim Lee that actually has a good business acumen that could take this to like whatever media that this is going to, because it is not about being a periodical print industry anymore. It is not about magazines. And so I think that's the future of comics. It's still telling entertaining stories in universe with reliable characters and reliable character voices. But we need like that Jim Shooter with that unit of vision that's going to understand the medium itself and to how to use it and how to make it successful. I mean, I'm perpetually impressed with him.
He's an impressive guy. I mean, as we
He was
discussed
the EIC
earlier,
by 26. I mean,
yeah,
that's
he was a prodigy when it comes to comics. Probably one that it's unlikely to see again. That being said, you can have that level of dedication, that level of understanding, that level of with a lot of work. And currently you have an entire industry that doesn't want to work for that. You have to play the get along gang to keep working to ever get to the point of even having an editorial role. He wouldn't be able to actually do the things necessary for greatness, to build greatness. He wouldn't keep his job long enough if if anybody did it the way Shooter did now, because that's not the way the industry.
Essentially. I thought the interesting thing, Dylan, also just kind of reading through that, obviously he studied up on comic books, specifically superheroes from a very young age, published by DC, loved superheroes more than anything, but, talking about and seeing real time, like the darker, cynical side of superheroes and kind of bringing superheroes down to our level, you could definitely tell that affected him in a negative way. And he could say, hey, this is not a good, clear path. And I think just a lot of the way that you see characters portrayed nowadays, they're always wanting to tear them down rather than lift them up. And you definitely see it.
Yeah, essentially the Watchmen effect, where everyone's like, I am now as talented as Alan Moore, and I can deconstruct superheroes. It's like, no, you're not. And everyone tries to do it. Obviously, the big one is Tom King, who always tries to do it with every single comic book. It doesn't work out, and I think a lot of people aren't necessarily wanting that anymore. A lot of people are tired of it, and that's something that that I actually liked about Doomsday Clock was we had more of a reconstruction of the superhero. I like that a lot, having Superman inspire the most nihilistic character in comics. I thought that was really cool, but for the most part, yeah, you get a lot of those more doom and gloom deconstructing the superhero, and it gets depressing, and also it gets oversaturated. We get a lot of that because everyone wants to do that. Everyone wants to be the new Watchmen.
Yeah, I'm so tired of the evil Superman trope at this point. And obviously, it's not just DC doing Injustice and other versions of evil Superman. It's just everybody that makes a superhero book has an evil Superman in it.
Yeah, everyone tries to do it, and then some people don't even understand, because some people be like, oh, Omni-Man did it, and then it's like, if you read Invincible, Omni-Man is not an evil Superman at all. Like, he has a whole arc, and it's much different. But yeah, everyone tries to do their own evil Superman, and it gets tired at a point. It's no longer shocking or new or interesting.
Yeah, I've been trying to read Absolute Superman. I came back and I liked kind of one issue that was focusing on Brainiac. But then the next issue, it's all about that Superman again. I was like, I just don't think I like this guy. I think he's awful.
That's why I fell off after the first two issues, because it was just, they gave me no reason to like that guy. The first two issues was just, he's not compelling. I don't care. And I was like, I'm not going to read this book anymore, as great as the art is.
Yeah. So Aaron, you're not feeling well. You're going to have to bounce.
I think that I might need to, because I keep like getting this every time I go to talk. I start to get this like tickle in my throat, and then it like triggers like a coughing fit because I'm just getting over the pneumonia. I'm like on the tail end of it, so I think I might have to dip.
Okay, you want to recommend any comic books real quick, or you just want to bounce out?
No, I got nothing to recommend this week.
All right.
'Cause I don't-
Well,
I
we
don't
do
read-
appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, I don't read any DC anymore, and I don't care about Marvel. So,
Oh,
and I don't.
Hope
I
you feel
haven't,
better,
I
Aaron.
haven't checked out the indie stuff this week. But thank you guys. Thank you to the chat, and I will see you guys next week.
we hope you feel better, brother.
Thank you,
Later,
man.
man.
Appreciate it.
What do you
Well,
think, Tommy?
now
I
that
think
he's gone.
comic books are far too cynical these days.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I don't know. There's still a lot of good stuff, I think,
Mhm.
going on in comic books too. So I'm loving.
I
Rick
love
Remender.
Space Ghost. That's a great.
Yes.
That's like the best Batman comic book you'll find.
I absolutely love Space Ghost. Pepos is, I think, writing the best thing that he's ever written. I'm absolutely loving it. Escape. I don't know if you've read Escape from Rick Remender, issue 3.
It's amazing.
Now it's phenomenal. Oh, I got chills reading it, man. I cannot wait for more of this. So there's really good stuff out there. But yeah, Rick Remender is killing it, man.
Rick Remender is one of the darkest writers out there. Almost every one of his books, the hero is like broken and terrible, like cheating on his wife and doing all
Not
kinds of
Escape,
stuff.
man. Escape is different, man. This one feels a lot different. I hope it doesn't go that route, but it is so good. If you're not reading it, Wes, you need to get on that one.
Yeah, like Escape is still a dark book, but the guy's not like a piece of garbage.
no.
No, he's
It's
a
a
good
World War
guy.
II book, right? So there's gonna be a lot of dark parts of it, but it's good, man.
It's
so good.
really good.
Man, what's the great World War II movie? The Memphis Belle?
Memphis Belle is a good.
That's a good one.
It's a good.
We said Memphis Belle though. That's such a generic question. What's the great World War II movie? It's like
Well,
there's like 800 of them.
Escape is about a pilot that's flying bombers during World War II, and Memphis Belle is about a famous bomber and his crew during World War II. Have you not seen that one, Dylan?
No, I have not.
You should put it on the to-do list. I think it's got Matthew Modine, Eric.
I believe
Stoltz.
so.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, Sacrifice is another good book, but it's also a very cynical book where the gods hate the people. They don't take them for granted. They steal their children and turn them into elixir to drink them and all kinds of stuff. It was a terribly cynical book.
I
You
mean,
know what's
Still
not
good,
cynical?
though.
look kind of relevant though, you know.
It is. I'm not
tell
saying
you.
it's not, but it's also not superheroes.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
not doing that with Superman. I think that's what
Yeah.
a lot of Jim Shue was talking about.
Yeah, but it's Jeff is not cynical, and but it's too cutesy. It's not serious one bit, and it's a good escape from from the dark stuff. But honestly, it's ridiculous, literally ridiculous, worthy of ridicule.
I think the problem with comics is they only see things two ways anymore, and that's if it's serious, it has to be dark. If it's fun, it has to be nonsensical, ridiculousness.
That's a good point. There's a lot of writers that see it that way. Yeah.
Also,
None of
I
them-
think there's a lot of writers that don't see heroes anymore too. I mean, heroes are now villains, so I feel like that's a major issue in comics as well.
And
Yeah,
it's-
yeah, you have like when Tom Taylor was on the John Kent book, and he instantly was like, Superman doesn't do enough, and so he had John preach to Clark about how he's not doing enough, and he could do all these other things. It's like no one's ever thought that about Superman. That was such a BS point to try to make, and made no sense.
Well, I think that's what we're missing. That's one of the big recipes that we seem to be missing in comics that a guy like Jim Shooter did have. He had that, and I think that there's something to be said about this. There's a region of the country, and it's that Cleveland, Erie, Buffalo down to Pittsburgh, maybe a little bit in the West Virginia region that is. They have this. There's a strange amount of Midwestern sense, kind of
Common sense.
common sense, but with still not completely disconnected from that like East Coast semi-metropolitan vibe. So it's like a weird mix of the two.
Bougie.
A
in
little
common
bit.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Jim was a guy from Pittsburgh. He grew up probably 15, 20 minutes from my house. And he kind of embodied that. It was kind of very working class without being without being too salt of the earth, I guess you could say. And so you had a sense of kind of that always pointing north to true north moral compass, with some of the cynicism of the coastal elite types. And I feel like you need a lot of that in writing effective superhero comics, where you have this person that is, the writer, because they're able to put their own kind of moral compass into them, always does. And whether, they're always kind of pointing in the right direction, but they recognize sometimes expediency, sometimes necessity, sometimes whatever. And it creates a lot of plot tension when you write those things into superhero comics. And now it's just endless cynicism, because all you're getting are these people from only metropolitan regions, or you end up with these people that are so fucking yokel that or that are pushing back against that level of cynicism, but because they're, again, all from these fucking metropolitan places. There's no kind of normie just everyman types like a guy like Shooter was that are in comics these days.
And certainly not a Marvel or not as often at DC. Anybody else have anything else to say about Jim Shooter?
I think that nobody won the Columbia Bikes that year in 1981. They all went to Jim Shooter's kids.
Oh, it was like the
Seriously.
McDonald's Monopoly fucking scandal?
It totally was. Totally.
Hey, Monopoly is back.
When the Columbia 10-speed racer, Formula 10 racer here, fall in 1981, nobody won these. They all went to
the
Jim
McDonald's
Shooter's
Monopoly game was always the coolest.
It's back.
Let us know.
Remember when you
chat.
could get 2 Big Macs for $2 during the Monopoly thing?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think I'm
What's
still
Big Mac
like-
now, like $15?
2 Big
Yeah.
Macs? Yeah.
Two
dude.
Big Macs are probably about $15 now.
That's crazy. Dylan doesn't know how good we had it. $5 footlongs.
Hey, it
Two
wasn't
for
that
one
long
Big
ago.
Macs.
$5 footlongs. How long ago do you think $5 footlongs were?
Hooters before feminism. Dude, Hooters was a great
Gas
restaurant.
under
in
a
the grocery
dollar.
store.
Gas
Blockbuster
under $1.
nights.
Oh, Blockbuster nights. Renting video games. I love, yeah.
Jagrid 2 says, so are there hopes for the new Vertigo line in 2026?
No,
There are a couple of books in there that I am going to read. The Kyle Starks, is it? The guy that did the Lobo book. I definitely want to read that. There's a Ram V book in there that I'll probably check out. But for the most part, I didn't like any of the writers.
Yeah, the new line didn't get me super excited. There's like a Chris Condon book, I think, that was like the only one that I'll probably check
with
out.
Sean Phillips.
Yeah.
So
That
the
was
guy
like
that he did the other 2 books with.
yeah, with or Jacob Phillips. Jacob Phillips,
Yeah,
not,
Jacob,
not Sean
my
Phillips.
bad, his
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. I like that creative team, so I'll check that out. But other
Sean
than that,
Phillips
like
has a brother that's also in comics.
yeah, he did. What was it? He did
That
that
Texas
Texas
Blood
Blood.
Infield
That's
game.
his son, right?
Yeah,
Is it his son?
I think it's his son.
Okay,
I
say
believe it's
Sean
his son
Phillips has
also.
been-
So
Mhm. There's 100 Bullets, a sequel, another 100 Bullets. I love Azzarello and Rizzo. That was 100 Bullets was amazing. For
I
its
haven't
time.
read
I
a good
love that.
Alzarello book in 15 years.
Yeah.
10,
Huh?
15. It's been a while.
So maybe.
Man, do you remember that? Remember what was the Black Label book that he did with Lee Bermejo?
Batman
Batman.
it's
Damned,
Batman Damned. Yeah,
the
God,
Bat
that
Dong.
thing sucked balls. It was not worth the controversy in the bad way. You know what I mean? So.
DC instantly caved. We're like, oh, we're sorry. We actually pushed the boundaries for once. Whoops.
But if you read the writers that they had in the pitches, a lot of them it feels like that DC 25th anniversary line that they try to do, or under
The Andy Curry line.
yes.
I just remember they got rid of Vertigo, and then we're like, Black Label's our new thing, and now they're bringing Vertigo back, and Black Label's just kind of
So supposedly,
there.
Vertigo are stories that don't include DC heroes anymore. Black Label or for those types of stories with DC heroes.
Yeah.
But then
And mature
Elseworlds.
readers.
Yeah, you have
something
Elseworlds
else.
also. Yeah.
Black
don't-
Label, I believe, is going to be mature readers, and I think it's more just mature readers. And I think Elseworlds will be the weird other not DCU books.
Yeah.
But
Somebody else was pointing out we used to be able to get 5 Arby's sandwiches for $5.
Yep.
All you could have horsey sauce, and it was amazing.
They're expensive now.
Yeah.
That's so
So
much.
I'm not
Arby's.
putting a lot of hopes on the new Vertigo line, but I'll see what happens. There's a few books in there that interested me. Sleep at Dakel. Thing I wish people copied most from Jim is his adherence to international conspiracy. It's too common for me to start
Consistency.
consistency. Sorry. It's too common for me to start a comic in the back of my mind waiting to be a sucker punched by a left field retcon.
he really did have. He didn't.
I think he
want
meant
to-
internal consistency.
Yeah.
That's why it threw me off.
Yeah, because the only time that retcons really happened was when even as EIC got overruled.
Yeah, but I think he's also talking about like stories that make sense, where when you get to the end, everything adds up, and it's not a swerve for the sake of a swerve.
And then you need to add something. You need to
You remember
retcon
like
something
the
in
Vince
to make it work.
McMahon, it was me all along.
Yeah.
You're like,
Even though
you
he
were trying to
kidnapped
kill your own
himself
daughter? Like, get the fuck out of
and
here.
himself.
Yes. And I'm with you on that one, Slave. Like stories need to make sense. If there's a logical conclusion, you should probably end up there. That's why everyone hated the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You invest all this time and money, the story makes sense. It's leading to something very specific. How's it going to get there? Not really sure. And then when you get to the end, you're like, where'd the fucking handicap kid come in? Like, Bran? Like, how is he the fucking guy?
Yeah.
Leaves you a bad taste in the mouth, especially when you buy in and invest yourself in the story.
Agree.
What do you think, Sully? Do we need good, consistent storytelling, or do you think, fuck it, throw Jeff the Land Shark in at the end and everything's good?
Jeff and everything will cure all of your mopes. And just looking at the cute little Jeff with his paws
No,
and his meeps,
No.
it's gonna turn your frown upside down. Even you, Doc.
no. It's fucking retarded.
It was just like Jim was like a lightning in the bottle, and like the only person I could see on that kind of executive creative level was like Atlantic Records. Ahmet Erdogan, he was a songwriter in like the 40s and 50s and 60s, but he was Atlantic Records, and he responsible for all of that music, Led Zeppelin, everyone, but he was like Jim Shooter. He had the creative vision and the business smarts to pull off pushing his medium into the stratosphere.
It's like when you read Secret Wars from Jonathan Hickman.
Mm-hmm.
For the first, 6 issues, it's super duper exciting. You're like, holy crap, they're gonna do this, Doc. You're like, they're gonna reset the universe at the end of this. And when you get to the end, they pussed out.
Yeah, because that was what they were going to do. Also, they realized exactly what I scream my fucking head off about. The only reason people stick around with Marvel is because that is out of history. If you eliminate history and start over, you've now given everyone.
Well, that's another point, but I'm
jumping
talking
off
about storytelling. When you
Oh,
set something
storytelling?
up clearly and
Yeah.
then you don't pay it off.
Well, yeah,
That's the worst.
that
Yeah.
is.
It gives you the comic book blue balls. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
like
God.
Ben Percy, like he does a mediocre job. I think he's got some
He's a
really
mystery
good
box
stuff.
writer.
But like Sabretooth War from remember that last year in
Yeah.
Wolverine,
Yeah,
10
but-
parts. I think I spent $85 for 10 magazines. I will never read again because it falls apart in Act 3. It doesn't. It landed terribly.
That was Victor, whatever the fuck his name is, the guy that wanted to write his.
Laval.
Yeah, the guy that just had a treatise on prisons, and why prisons are bad.
Yeah, the exile
Yeah,
stuff.
that's the only reason that series got made. Because
And
they needed-
actually, Dylan, you were talking about Doomsday Clock, which I think is a really great story. I think people will probably still be, hopefully we'll be still reading that in 20 years.
Yes.
Jeff Johns, Gary Frank,
Gary
great
Frank.
stuff.
Oh.
If you read it, it's pretty clear as you're reading it that Wally West is going to play a pretty big role in it.
Yeah.
And then they disappear him off like for the last 4 or 5 issues. They just kind of removed it.
Yeah, which was sad. I mean, and that makes sense because he was the beginning of Rebirth, so it makes sense that he'd be here for like the big part towards the end, but he didn't. And when I think of that era, I also think of talking about consistency and getting sucker punched by retcon was Mr. Oz when Bendis came in and didn't understand anything going on with that character because he was going to play a big role. And like Jerkins had set things up with him, and we had him all throughout Rebirth, like he was behind things and he was being used by Dr. Manhattan. And then Bendis understood none of that. It was like,
who's that? I'm going on a road trip.
Yeah, who's this guy? What if we took him like Earth 3? What if we just completely changed his characters? Like none of this makes any sense. That was very disappointing.
Yeah. Carlitos Figueroa. Nowadays, aside from indie titles that are free to explore genres not always tied to the superhero genre, DC and Marvel have very few books that feel less like superhero stories.
Yeah. Look, none of the
why...
superhero stories feel like superhero stories. Go ahead, Dylan. Sorry.
I was going to say, like, he's talking about there's too many, cape stuff. It's like, that's why freaking bring Jonah Hex back. Put Jimmy Palmiotti on a Jonah Hex book. Just do it. It's great. There's so many stories you can tell with him that you can't tell with other heroes. And I'd love to have him on there. But
I would
also,
be surprised if he doesn't come back soon, to be completely honest.
Well, I mean, he's been in Justice League for a fat minute now with the Time Displaced Heroes, but he's like in the background of like a panel every book. You're like, oh, there he is. My boy's there.
They announced the 8 new titles. Apparently, there's 8 more. Hawkman's going to be one of them. There's a decent chance, I guess, Jonah Hex could be one of those characters.
I hope so, but if they throw some retard on there, I'm going to be very upset. So hopefully,
Jonah Hex.
I've got it. Let's make Jonah Hex a detective in the Gotham City Police Department now.
Jimmy Palmiotti's already written like 100 issues of great Jonah Hex comics with Justin Gray, and he's like been pining the entire time, like, bring him back. I would love to do it. It's like, throw him on there, please. You got a guy that wants to do it, that knows the character. That's
he's
great.
Punisher guy right now.
Yeah, and now I'm enjoying his Punisher.
Give me a Vertigo title with Jonah Hex. Some cutthroat, good Western. You know what I mean?
They did that Vertigo title a while ago with him, which was very weird, but that was interesting. But just bring him back, man. Yeah. And also, in terms of like there not being a lot of heroic heroes out there too, I do want to say that Philip Kennedy Johnson does a great job of writing like heroic characters. Like Batman, I feel like Batman Robin is more heroic than Batman's been in a while. He's a much better father than he's been in a while, and his Superman is always very inspiring and heroic. So there are some people out there still doing the damn thing. It's just not a whole lot.
I would say Jeremy Adams you could throw in there too. He does a really good job of protecting heroes and letting them be heroes.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was so sad. He put in all that work to fix Wally West. Like, fuck it, we're giving it to Cy Spurrier.
Out of nowhere, too. No one wanted that. Oh, man.
So weird. Cy Spurrier is going to be on that Vertigo line as well. Another one of those.
Yeah, which tells you how fucking terrible that line's going to be.
But at least that makes more sense for Cy Spurrier instead of like Flash.
The unemployment line makes more sense for Cy Spurrier.
Dylan, did you read Flash this week?
Yes, I did.
What did you think?
It was okay. I didn't really care for it too
much. Is that the Mark
Wade
DCKO tie-ins?
Yeah, Mark Wade and Cantwell.
Cantwell.
Yeah.
So it was all right?
It was mid.
I like Impulse.
Yeah, like there's some interesting stuff in there. It's basically Impulse causing problems while being like, we can't do this, and Impulse being like, let's go take on Darkseid. So it was okay.
Slee McDakel says, Jim was a true fan because he got his start doing Legion of Superheroes, the nerdiest comic ever.
Not wrong.
Yeah. I like the Legion of Superheroes. I like the concept that the future that the Legion of Superheroes are experiencing or in is ever changing based on the present of what the superheroes are doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
That is the nerdiest shit ever, though, because it does have to tie in and be aware of literally everything.
You also cannot be a stickler for continuity, like within that book, when then the continuity of that book is 100% contingent upon the continuity of every other book.
And they got so many great names like Sun Boy, like
Yeah,
Matter Ear Lad.
Arm fall off boy.
I love Wildfire and Dawnstar, and that was a really interesting, like, melodramatic romance note to it too. I mean, they were in love, but what could they do? He's made of antimatter.
Williamson's doing the new Legion of Superheroes books after DCKO, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That has a lot of potential.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
don't.
like
It's not going to be Dark Legion, I'm assuming.
They didn't
Right.
announce the artist, right? I don't think they announced the
No.
artist. I think it's just Williamson.
It's like, yeah, I'm cutting back on my DC books because of personal feelings. But I mean, I'm still with Joshua Williamson, still with Jeremy Adams and Philip Kennedy Johnson as well. So I guess, like, there are you know what I mean? I can't totally see myself just shunning DC like I did back, in Heroes in Crisis, But it's like, I'm definitely pulling back, on just my attention. I mean, I'm done with DCKO. Of course, I'm reading Superman, so it's going to be overlapping. Of course, I want Legion of the Superheroes because that's going to come directly out of this. I'm looking forward to that.
Did you read Brian Michael Bendis's Legion, Tommy?
No.
Did anybody else?
Nope.
Obviously, Legion
little
came out
bit.
after he destroyed Superman or whatever. But if you read the book, there's like a concept. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I was like, actually, this is like a good idea, and then he just fucked up the entire execution.
Yeah.
With,
All right.
constant 14 pages of
I think
explanation
Bendis-
of what already happened.
Well, Bendis 2.0 is kind of just more focused on the message and other, I think it was more about changing the diversity.
I think he
of
wants to publish as
cast.
many books as possible while telling as little story as possible. That's my impression of modern
And
Bendis.
having as much dialogue as possible.
Yes.
Oh,
To
God,
cover up the
yeah.
fact that no story is happening. Remember when you'd open up and it'd be an entire page, like all down the left side and all down the right side of just somebody talking to themselves?
Yep. Just speech bubbles galore.
But I mean, with Williamson using Superboy Prime the way he is in the current Superman DCKO stuff, I would love to see Prime as the Superboy of the next Legion of Superheroes. That would be great because Williamson's writing a really good mouth.
Well,
on him.
that's the logical
loving it.
progression of the story that they're telling, to be completely honest.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
Jagger 2, what characters could be getting new boxes next year that we didn't hear announced at New York Comic Con? If Siren's going to be the worst book of the first half of 2026? Oh, potentially. I mean, there's got to be a lot of competitors or competitors for that. We do know there's going to be 8 more books from DC that have not been announced. I've been told Hawkman is one of them. Dylan is definitely hoping one of them is going to be Jonah Hex, but
Did they say the
expect some-
writer on the Hawkman, Wes, or not?
no,
yet?
they haven't announced any of that. They haven't even announced the Hawkman book, but I've
gotcha.
been told that that's one of the books. But expect a bunch of stuff that we haven't seen as of late for like a fresh start, is what it was explained to me, coming out of DCKO. So maybe some of the other heroes that we haven't seen as of late that could be big. Man, I would love an Apache Chief book, but they'd never do it.
No.
And Yuck
They're
Chuck.
too scared.
Woo!
What other heroes do you want to see, Dale, that haven't been seen as much? I'm super excited for Firestorm, but I know I'm going to be disappointed with the writer.
I'd like to see Question. I know we're getting that like Batman Green Arrow Question like mini series.
Arcadia,
Yeah, but I'd like to see like a Question solo. That could be cool.
yeah. Probably going to get a question book, but I would expect some other like Superman character thrown in there too. But they're going to try and change up, I guess, the lineup of heroes that are populating DC in their books right now, which they probably need. It's kind of been the same group for since Rebirth.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well,
Be
it'd
good
be cool
if
to
it
get
was-
like a Roy Harper book now that Green Arrow's canceled.
I would love Arsenal. Absolutely. That would be great. Did you see that in the next Green Lantern, they're going to do a hard traveling heroes like thing?
Yeah.
That's going
Excited
to
for
be
that.
And I read the solicitations for January. It's going to be a Barry Allen, Hal Jordan team up.
I saw that. I'm excited to see Barry back.
Yes. Baja Cat, Wendigo's Wolverine, X-23 is Sabretooth, a new female Silver Surfer. There's 10 Spider-Man, multiple Captain Americas, Is there even a point to these heroes anymore if anyone can just beat everyone else?
Every
No.
hero is a mantle, and they're gonna transfer to everyone ever. Nothing matters.
Then there are all the mashups, like all the symbiotes, like
Uh.
Widow gave Hawkeye a symbiote, and then Bucky's got a symbiote. No, does Bucky have a symbiote? No, it was Rick Jones got a symbiote.
All new Spider Girl has this symbiote, or
Oh,
Spider
gee.
Gwen.
That's
That-
true.
None of them matter. Nothing matters anymore because you've eliminated the uniqueness of these identities. You play musical identities and everything's a mantle, as Dylan said. Therefore,
Yeah.
nothing can matter because you can never put any stakes on anything.
Is there a dumber idea than making a Wendigo a new Wolverine?
You know, that issue wasn't all that bad. At the beginning of it, I was cringing because they brought in this new Wendigo thing. But by the middle of the issue and by the end of it, I'm like, okay, he told a decent story.
I get that the Wendigo is a part of Wolverine's first appearance, but
Mhm.
every time I check out, I dip my toe into this new Wolverine run. Wendigo's there, and I don't understand why. Like he's not that important to Wolverine.
his
Like that was
pet
a
now.
Hulk
All
thing.
the
Like
Knockbits
why is he connected to Wolverine now? It's so stupid.
This is why, because this kid that was like 15 years old was in Canada and ate his friend because they got is stuck in a snowstorm. He then illustrated eating his friend. Wolverine got to read the comic book about the kid eating his friend, realizing the Wendigo was actually a teenage boy and is taking him under his wing to make him a good guy.
And they also did
And this is the kind of bullshit that Sully's trying to sell on us.
this is the kind of retard, and it also turned into a retarded metaphor about how illegal immigration into the U.S. is okay because Salad Man fucking sucks.
Sounds about right for a modern Marvel book.
But that one's the worst. Yamada, that Kiss 50. You should invite Gary from The Rock on. Well, I think I should. I probably should. I saw that he shared the link to the Jim Shooter video, and I do talk to him from time to time. But I'm definitely going to invite him on. We'll see if he can make it. Favorite JLA run? I'm just going to go with the Jeff Johns stuff. I think it's great.
52.
Ooh.
Go with Brad Meltzer. I really like what Brad Meltzer did.
I like the Obsidian Age with Joe Kelly and Doug Mankey about and Apache Chief. Come on, he's in
I
there.
love Patchy Chief. Doc's going with Grant Morrison, dude.
Ooh.
Oh, honestly, I'd end up going Justice League International with Keith
Uh-huh.
Giffen because
Wow.
because my
Well, he said
my
Justice
utter-
League of America, not international. So you got to
Yeah.
choose JLA.
yeah then whatever month it was where it's canceled because I've never liked JLA, and even the time that I did kind of like it from Morrison, he
Told you it was
retroactively
Morrison.
made me hate it because fuck Grant Morrison.
Oh, you big grump. It's a great run. I love the whole
Fuck
thing.
Grant Morrison.
I loved the whole thing with Triumph, like the guy that was frozen in time, and
Like the little dog is just making fun of all the superheroes. Like
mhm.
the insult dog shut up. No. Didn't Meltzer do fucking Identity Crisis?
Yes.
Yes.
How can you even forgive the guy?
Hey, Crisis ain't that bad.
Dr.
I did
Light.
not like that one. Not a fan.
Did a lot of cool stuff with Red Tornado. He had a good JLA run.
Jaguar 2, Lois Lane Superwoman solo book. I would not
Please,
discount it. I mean, it's certainly implied that it could happen.
Yeah, I hope not. That was
Yeah.
kind of when that
Who
came
wants
back
it?
in this
Who
last
would buy
issue.
that? Who's gonna write it? Williamson?
Probably you.
Not me.
Yeah, you're the only person that would read it.
Okay, but what about give me a red band?
It's like she's flying with the dog. How could you say
Ooh.
no to this? It's so cutesy wootsy.
Coochie wootsy.
Oh, there's two
Rico
Sullies in here.
Tamaki.
This is crazy.
It's certainly implied that it could happen, Jaguar 2. No doubt about that. But Williamson is doing a lot of books.
Yeah.
He's going to continue on Superman. He's going to be doing Iron Man. He's still doing the G.I. Joe book. And I think he had another project out there that he was.
Legion
the,
of Superheroes.
Legion of Superheroes.
Hopefully, he
So-
doesn't spread himself too thin again, because that was.
Well,
when his
hopefully, he
quality
puts all his
dropped.
efforts in fucking G.I. Joe because that's the book right now.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe is
Yep.
the book, baby. Yes, don't mess up G.I. Joe, please.
Tommy, what did you think of the change on Transformers?
I mean, it's early. That's all.
It's abrupt. It's jarring though.
It's jarring, but man,
it's the writing style is jarring.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I have a lot of trust in Robert. So.
Oh, that's why. I was like, this
it's
is weird.
jarring though. You're like, whoa, this is so different looking and feeling and everything. Even the direction that they're going is a lot more different. But again,
like Mask. That was cool.
Yeah, for sure. But I think he's trying to tie it into everything else that's going on, and
it sounds like we're going to be getting a animated series based off of the G.I. Joe and Transformers stuff. So I imagine that's why he's taking control.
Agree, and I am all for that. If it's anything like Invincible, I think we're going to have a really good time with that.
Yeah, Federico de la Casa. Shooter knew how to write godly beings like Moore and Starlin, and still look human. Modern writers write them like they crave to do with their powers. I will give him that. Yeah, like when you read like Shooter's Korvac saga, that is a really complex character that does not want to take over the world, but has the power to do it. And you see a lot of people like you just see anyone writing Professor X nowadays. Doc, they're like, if I had the power to control people's minds, I would do the most evil thing possible.
Yeah, well, that's because they're evil people.
Well,
commies generally are. But no, yeah, these people are terrible with, just upside down lack of moral fiber. And everyone, they used to talk about how comics were an adolescent male power fantasy. The thing is, they've now turned them into their adolescent tyranny fantasy.
Yeah.
Because they have no sense of moral.
Obviously, he's mentioning Alan Moore in there, and you brought up a good example earlier, Dylan, talking about the Watchmen, and obviously Dr. Manhattan, being all that like nihilistic character. But with all that power and the way that he perceives humanity and the way that he looks at it, he doesn't really intervene. He doesn't try to like bring the world to heel to him. I think is an interesting portrayal, like kind of what Federico's talking about.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting to see a character with all that power just sit and watch.
Yeah, it's like Superman for the good side.
Yeah.
That's what nobody gets. Why aren't you fixing climate change? Because I'm fucking Superman. I'm here for the aliens.
Yeah, also
humans do their own thing.
With all like the 200 IQ smart people, like climate change shouldn't be a problem in the DC universe. That should just be like, we fixed that long time ago. It's not an issue.
Mr. Terrific did it on a weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same at Marvel with how many Bruce Banners, Reed Richards,
Iron Man.
They did in that one issue of One World Under Doom, where Doom's like, "Hey, you could do this, this, and this, and fix all of humanity's problems. Why haven't you?"
Yeah.
Well, he's the bad guy now.
Well, that was okay. So if anybody ever read Planetary, it was very clearly a shot at the fact that you still bring that the writers at Marvel would still bring up these real world things that can be solved with science problems in comics and make them a plot point when they had the ability to do it. And it makes them villains not actually addressing it. So either stop bringing it up in comics or address it and accept that they're villains for not fixing the problem.
Material 12. Symbiotes are supposed to learn the host powers, like with Spider-Man, all have web shoots, but they don't seem to retain anyone else's powers.
Good point.
Yeah, symbiotes weren't supposed to just be spider things. They were supposed to have...
Didn't one of them just turn into a goddamn submarine for Mary Jane and All New Venom?
I think so.
It's like Al Ewing doesn't even understand what a symbiote is.
Well, maybe because her powers are nonsensical.
He's treating the symbiote like a Green Lantern ring.
Yeah.
whatever comes into her imagination, the symbiote becomes.
Correct.
I don't think that's how it's supposed to work, Doc.
Well, no, it's not. But at the same time, that's how they've been treating symbiotes for a while. And you can make the argument that really, how is it any different?
Remember when they tried to turn into the Infinity Stones into Green Lantern rings?
Oh, I
You
do
probably don't
remember.
any
This
of
would have
those
been
annual
way
events.
back in like Warlock and the Infinity Watch. Back in the 90s, they tried doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they've been trying to use them. They're story wise, they are pretty symbiotes are pretty indistinguishable from a lantern ring at this point.
I don't think you wield a symbiote. I think you're supposed to bond with them.
You are, but they've been writing them for a decade and a half now as basically just a black goopy lantern ring.
Maybe that's why no one cares about symbiotes anymore.
Well, that plus having 200.
There's just too many of them.
Yeah.
I don't like there's a cat one. Get it out of here. Absolutely ridiculous. I think it was drone flying Rick Jones too.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce.
Well,
Is it Rick?
yeah, it's Rick Jones. And that's when Rick Jones is also a Hulk. Because remember, he was A-Bomb.
Yeah. A lot of Hulks too.
Too many.
Well, that was fun. We're going to talk about Jim Shooter, and thank you very much to everybody for the awesome questions and getting to talk about that stuff. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter show, which works out for me because I have some work that I needed to do. Should we do some comic book recommendations?
Yeah.
All right, Tommy. Thank you so much for coming back. Obviously, you're a big Green Lantern fan. You just had Christopher Priest. Is that up on the channel right now?
It is. It's up on the channel now. I have Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman on Monday. I have Joe Harris on Wednesday. I have Adam Lawson with his new title on Thursday. What else we got? We have and Mark Silvestri on November 3rd so far, and we're going to drop some more as well. So excited to have all those folks on and talk about everything that they're working on.
Very cool. Mark Silvestri is bringing back
Darkness.
Darkness. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
baby.
cool.
I got the San Diego Comic-Con. I cannot wait for that. You know, I'm a 90s Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, all those guys had a huge impact on me. So anyways, I'm really excited. He'll be back. He's been on before. I'm excited. But as far as I left my issues 12 downstairs because I read it last night, but if you're not reading G.I. Joe, what the hell is wrong with you, man? I love this title, having so much fun with it. The other one too that probably not too many people are reading, but I love Fire and Ice, Banksy and Frazetta. The comic is out. The art is phenomenal. Bill Williamson is the writer. Really good stuff here. So I've been enjoying that. Obviously, Green Lantern, I'm enjoying that. Starbreakers is over, so we're about to start the next episode, which has been a lot of fun. Titan dropped Conan Reforged, which is old storylines from Roy Thomas on Robert E. Howard. You got all kinds of cool stories in here. The Frost Giant's daughter, Tower of the Elephant. But this is a really cool pickup. All this amazing art. Check that out. That's in stores right now. Obviously, I'm a little late on this, but Mark Miller, Nemesis Forever, has been phenomenal. Loving that. What else we got here? The Disavowed. If you enjoyed the line of G.I. Joe back when Josh Blaylock was running it, he created the Disavowed. I think he started this when there wasn't G.I. Joe, or we were having some issues with G.I. Joe with IDW. It's actually a lot of fun. It's his version of it, and it's pretty cool. And the last thing, I have a buddy, Adam Austin Ho. He creates the Masters. If you love Golden Age comic books, this is a lot of fun. It actually has old ads like Twinkie ads and stuff like that. But it's very old school feel. I feel like a kid when I'm reading this. It's a lot of fun.
Somebody in the chat said, "When is Baroness going to turn on the Joes?"
I don't know.
I think she's staying a Joe, dude.
I think so. The way that 12 ended, we don't want to give anything away, but I don't think she's going anywhere.
Ooh.
And I think there's a new relationship with her that is kind of changing her tone a little bit. But we'll see. That could be the calm before the storm.
What do you think, Dylan? Is that a good choice to keep her a Joe?
I mean, I want her to be on Cobra, but I think the time passed to make her change. I think that's what they did with the, that this most recent arc was just like, this is is she gonna? And then it's like, no, she's a good guy.
Yeah.
I think she's perfectly fine as a good guy. I think it's interesting to switch things up just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, they started off like right from the opening with that very with the death of a beloved Joe. So they're doing things that are going to stick. Same thing over in Transformers too. They had a beloved, Autobot who's dead right off the bat.
They're going to bring back Bumblebee. That was crazy.
Yeah, Bumblebee's not.
Yeah,
it's like their second best selling toy. Well, probably second best behind Optimus.
Yeah, Optimus and then Bumblebee for sure.
Federico De La Casa says Solo Shooter is like this energy being who hopes to still be human and play at being a superhero. Modern writers couldn't do it and would be sad. You definitely get that whenever you read about him, and like this, just profound appreciation for comic books. And he was, I guess at one point he was told, hey, because DC hired when you were so young, you couldn't technically sign that contract. You could sue them right now and get access or control of all those characters. And he's like, why would I do that to them? They helped me and my family out when we needed them. They gave me a job, and I think he loved and ate, slept, and breathed superheroes entire adult life. And I think you just kind of get all that whenever you start reading up on him, and even some of his interviews, even when he was a little bit older, maybe a little bit more cantankerous. The love was always there, Doc.
Oh yeah, 100%. The man was always. You said love his entire adult life. No, his entire life.
Yeah,
literally from the time. It's rare that anyone will ever have a love of anything that lasts basically from their earliest formative years until the day they die. And Jim had that with comics. Whether or not comics loved him was kind of irrelevant. He still loved it. He loved it as a storytelling medium, as a place of employment, as an escape from the difficulties of a working class home, and made something amazing out of it.
All right, Dylan, what comic books are you going to be recommending? Also, do you have any big videos people need to know about? I bet.
Yeah, I got a video going out later today talking about Marvel and currently what's going on in the future. The stuff we got announced at NYCC and the January solicitations we got. So I got that going up today. So check that out. And then this was a good week for indies. DC had a few books. Superman number 31, it's a step down for the current arc that we just had, but I still liked it. Green Lantern 28 sets up some cool stuff. I really enjoyed it. Green Arrow number 29, other than that, random bizarre CIA flashback was still pretty good. I liked it. Skinbreaker number 2 was really good. Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn continues to be really good. Issue 10 came out. Escape number 3 was amazing. No Man's Land number 2 is really good. If you like True Detective, it's sort of a True Detective type mystery going on in Alaska. The Killer Affairs of the State 2 number 5 was the best issue of the series so far. That was really good. And then Undead Iron Fist number 2 continues to be a lot of fun. So hopefully
The
we get
art
a
in
Dana
that one
Solo.
was surprising to me.
It's great. Yeah.
It's got a cartooniness to it that I wasn't expecting. I think it's Fran Galan.
Yeah, it's Frank Galan, and I like it a lot.
There's a very distinct style.
Yes.
Like elongated and like very stylized. I liked it.
Yeah, and action packed.
Mm-hmm. But very good. Definitely check out that video from Dylan Sully,
hello,
the Sultan of Soup himself, that
Indeed.
made vegetarian chili this week. Do you got anything?
I got 3 issues that I got from my local comic book shop this week. I am a Wednesday warrior, still true blue, and I go every week, and I got a pull list, and I like perusing the shelves to see what's on there. And on my pull list is Ultimate Spider-Man number 22. I switched it out for the Balon variant cover, the B cover, so just because I can get a variant cover, I do at times. This had more Spider-Man action in the past 3 issues and this one issue, and because we get 4 full panels of Peter in costume doing the spider thing. 4 panels in this entire book. I mean, there was another book out this week. It's called Radioactive Spider-Man, and it's in the Age of Revelation X-Men thing. And it was a better Spider-Man book, in my humble opinion, than this, because it had plenty of Spider-Man action and quippiness. And I'm not saying this is a bad book. It's a great book. But still, we got 4 panels of Spider-Man action in this Spider-Man book that's been missing Spider-Man basically the entire run so far. So I don't know. It's a real mixed bag for me, but there's only 2 more issues left, and I'm in. Green Lantern number 28. It's also Legacy number 595. That means 5 more issues, and we're going to get our Jeremy Adams is getting the issue 600 milestone, and I think that's a good thing.
Sully, I just want to point out the cover. You expected an action-packed comic book, wall-to-wall action with that cover.
I you know what I mean?
With people holding hands.
You
The
know,
cover is holding hands.
it's a superhero magazine. It should have action like in every one of them. But
But it's implied there's a love story in there.
We
They're
get,
gonna
we
go on a
get
date.
Kyle Rayner pretending he's Ultra Instinct Goku for like 3 panels. I mean, but it's good. I'm a huge Kyle Rayner fan, and
I like that.
I
That's
thought
a
it was a
moment.
good book. Sure, yeah, but it just lacked a lot of action. But we just came off of, a huge action-packed arc, so this is kind of like that reset kind of story beat. And my pick of the week is Superman 31. It's a KO and tie-in. I love Joshua Williamson's Superman. I love Superboy Prime, and I love that he's been brought back for this book. And he's like one of my all-time favorite characters from the past 20 odd years. Thank you, Jeff Johns. I really do. And those are the books that I got this week. And thank you, Wes. Thank you, everyone on the panel. And thank you, everyone in the live chat.
Best chat in comics, dude.
Best chat in comics is always fun. Talking. This is a good experience for all of us, because we're just people. We're just fans, and we're talking. We're all friends, and we're having this great, huge weekly conversation about our hobby. And this all comes from a place of love, and it comes from a place of interest, and also genuine concern too. There are some good comics, but there's a lot of room for worry and a lot of room for speculation. And so let's continue this conversation, this comic book shop style conversation. I love it. Thank you so very much, and God bless. Cheers.
Last but not least, Doc, you got anything to recommend this week?
I do. Hold on, actually. 1 second.
Uh-oh.
I just dropped one
He's
of my
creaking the chair.
recommendations. Yep. My fucking ancient ass chair here. So I am going to recommend that if you are a channel memberships and Patreon backer, you go check out our review of Radioactive Spider-Man #1, because it's actually
Better than it deserved to be.
Absolutely. Joe Kelly probably still has the best voice for Spider-Man in a good number of years. So we will start out with some recommendations. I love these things. This is the coolest. This is the best looking Captain America figure that I've seen in a while. The Gamerverse, Captain America versus Venom. I don't really like the half face Venom, but there is a different head for it, so I can get like full face Venom. And a lot of these Gamerverse things are great, especially if you love Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It feels much more like the art from that rather than Marvel Capcom 3. But still. So that is going to be my first recommendation. My second recommendation is upside down.
There you go.
And Uncanny X-Men 510. This is the J. Scott Campbell half sketch variant. It was available at SDCC and Heroes Con, but one of those, the shipment for them actually got destroyed because the truck wrecked on its way there. So you were actually only able to get them on one of them. I think it was Heroes Con. I think it didn't actually make it to STCC, but I'm not sure. Difficult book to find. This one needs a CPR, but it is very, very hard to find, and it is very fucking pricey. So if you happen to find one for cheap, grab it immediately. And finally, since we are celebrating Jim Shooter, let's go with one of his the thing that is his legacy.
That's awesome.
This is it. Secret War #1. The first big mega event that comics had done. Followed very shortly by Crisis. Or did Crisis actually happen first? But regardless, this was spread across comics and toys. They got the toy business involved because they had all the action figures. In fact, actually, hold on. I think I even have. Oh, yes, I do.
Beard confirmed.
Holy shit. All right, hold on. Let's see. Well, just knocking shit down here. But there, the Magneto figure from the original line.
That's cool.
I have a Captain America up there, and I have the Dr. Octopus as well, but they all came with those little shields.
Yeah, the lenticular ones.
Yeah, the lenticular shields.
Pissed off every Captain America fan ever.
It did, because it didn't give him the actual shield. Like the one guy that actually has a shield doesn't get a shield. Doesn't get his shield. Why Wolverine needed a shield, no one will ever know. My Dr. Octopus, though, the arms had all broken off. So I need to replace him. But those are my recommendations for this week.
Zek art too, I think.
Yep.
Oh, I think people realize why we were on a quest. Doc would be Gimli.
Yep.
I don't know who
that is, but okay. I'll take your
Gimli
word for it.
is the dwarf in Lord of the Rings with the big beard.
Yeah.
I'm not a dwarf, though.
I didn't say you're a dwarf. Neither was the actor that played it.
Oh, yeah. They did that weird thing with making everybody midgets.
Yeah. Nacero 12, it's time for a face reveal, Doc. I think you got to go to his Instagram, right?
We came close today.
Yeah, you can find me. I mean, hell, go to Sparrow's Instagram. I'm on there.
Yeah, you got side beard. That's what you get.
Yeah, you get side beard from me. That's all.
I hope everyone is having a great weekend. I've got the Missouri Tigers versus the Vanderbilt game this weekend, which will be great. We got Kansas City on Monday Night Football playing the Commanders.
Yep.
The Redskins.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota led Commanders.
It's going to be
Redskins.
an interesting weekend. The Giants have got a
Eagles.
rematch with the Eagles. They might lay it on you guys.
Yeah.
Can they overcome the biggest disappointment in football history? I don't know.
I mean, we beat the shit out of them 2 weeks ago, so we'll see.
Yeah,
it's
that
so
was
weird that
before
we're
you
playing
gave up
twice
33
2 weeks.
points in one quarter.
Doesn't matter. Still undefeated against them this season.
Is that the
Later,
one with the
everybody.
blue?
See you later.
Get out.